You feel the world shatter as the Night King returns with a god. The narrator opens his eyes in a plush chamber, not a hospital. He learns he has been reborn as the heir of a grand duchy. Candles flicker from the ceiling, casting warm light. A stunning noblewoman leans over the cradle, his birth mother. This moment locks him into a noble line and a holy knight destiny. Her eyes already weigh his future on the throne. He looks up at the quiet ceiling, sees rows of candles instead of LED bulbs. The walls are paneled wood, tapestries hang where screens would be. The house feels rich, but the technology lags far behind Earth. You feel his eyes on you, pleading for guidance. He looks up at Sir Gothic, voice trembling, and says, "Please take good care of me, Sir Gothic." Sir Gothic nods, his expression solemn, and warns that the Holy Knight Order hides monstrous truths behind noble masks. The boy realizes the path is fraught with hidden dangers and strict trials. It matters because his request sets the tone for the harsh training ahead. "Please take good care of me, Sir Gothic." A stern lesson about the true nature of holy knights follows. Sir Gothic delivers a final command, urging the boy to earn his rank through deeds and honor. A radiant voice descends from the sky, offering a sacred quest to prove his honor and faith. The protagonist hears the call and pledges to obey the orders of Mariana, the goddess of war. He accepts the mission without hesitation, feeling the weight of destiny. By completing the trial, he earns the title of Holy Knight, marking his official entry into the order that will shape his future. Now he marches toward the battlefield to test his new rank. The newly minted Holy Knight leads a charge against an orc horde ravaging a border village. He cuts through snarling orcs, slays goblin raiders, and dismantles a dark cult feeding on the chaos.
During his 8-decade reign, the kingdom endures 3 great wars against relentless orc hordes. Each battle strains the army, but the forces hold. In the final conflict, a twisted hunchback goblin mutates into an archdemon, heralding a new, terrifying menace. These wars prove the kingdom's resilience and foreshadow a looming demonic apocalypse. The archdemon now advances toward the capital. The Empire's dark magicians launch a fresh disaster, spilling chaos across the border. The King's Council watches as soldiers scramble to contain the fallout. The protagonist, fresh from his Holy Knight oath, notes the Empire's reckless moves. A palace attendant bows and whispers to the ruler, demanding attention. The protagonist rallies his loyal knights and storms the ruined palace. He reaches the altar and pulls out the holy sword, still slick with orc blood from last year's campaign. He wipes the blade clean, reviving its divine shine. Recovering the sword restores a symbol of hope for the beleaguered troops. The knights prepare to challenge the Chaos Lord with the reclaimed blade. 121 years pass. The now-aged protagonist stands on a shattered balcony, watching the world crumble despite his efforts. He mutters that he tried his best, but the destruction spreads beyond his wishes. His lament underscores the futility of his past victories against the relentless tide.
Adam questions the reckless knight's next move, demanding a purpose. Bella steps in, reminding him that his actions must honor the goddess. The exchange forces the knight to choose a divine path rather than personal glory. This moment sets his resolve and signals the army's reliance on holy guidance. The stakes rise as the looming war demands a righteous leader. What should this foolish knight do? For the goddess. The next scene shows the army forming under the goddess's banner. Bella declares the knight beloved and honored, urging him to fight for honor itself. Nicole follows, promising that the goddess will stay by his side until he confronts the enemy knight, invoking the Lionheart's legacy.
The calendar flips forward. New engravings replace the old ones. Years, then years, then years. Adam notes each increment, feeling the weight of centuries pressing on his shoulders. The longer the war drags, the more the kingdom's resources dwindle. Each year adds pressure to find a decisive blow against the demonic hordes. The numbers remind everyone that time is running out. The final entry looms, promising a climax. Adam stands before the last demon gate, a massive black portal humming with dark energy. He raises his holy sword, channels divine light, and drives the blade into the gate's core. The portal shatters, releasing a burst of blinding radiance that incinerates the remaining demons. The next scene zooms on Adam's polished armor, the lion-dragon emblem glowing on his chest. A distant silhouette of a demonic horde looms behind a ruined wall. He grips his sword tighter, eyes scanning the horizon. The wind whistles through broken stone, carrying the scent of ash. The scene emphasizes the looming battle he must face. Soon the demonic forces breach the wall, forcing Adam into combat. Adam drives his holy sword into the black demon gate's core, unleashing a blinding surge of divine light that fractures the portal and exposes a seething tide of darkness beyond. Blood drips from Adam's lip as he declares himself King Lionheart, feeling the crushing weight of endless war lift into fierce purpose while his comrades tremble, fearing the inevitable massacre of their enemies. A massive demonic horde looms behind shattered walls, its shadows inching closer as trapped foes stare at Adam's glowing lion-dragon crest, leaving the battlefield standing on the brink of annihilation.
End of the chapter. Time to subscribe to Manwa with Hari. A black demon gate cracks open in downtown Seoul. Its rank shows as an unidentifiable black, far beyond any known scale. The Korean Hunter Association and the World Hunter Association beg the nation's big guilds for help, but every request gets denied because the gate's difficulty is impossible. The government finally orders the Korean Hunter Association to enter first, treating it as an execution order. This forces the hunters into a suicide raid that could decide Earth's fate. The team steps toward the gate, unaware of what waits inside. The hunters cross the threshold. Inside they find a barren wasteland lit by a dim red glow. The air feels heavy, and the ground cracks with each step. The survivor raises his hand, and a dark aura ripples from his palm, illuminating the gate's interior. The aura slices through floating debris, revealing a sealed tunnel that leads deeper. Han watches, eyes widening, realizing the survivor can manipulate the gate's energy. Kim notes the potential to use that power against the Great Devil. Now the hunters decide they must scout the survivor closely. Kim orders the team to scout the survivor, calling him incredibly strong. He stresses that no matter the risk, they must learn from him. Han grunts agreement, ready to follow. The command sets the next mission: extract the survivor's knowledge before the gate collapses. You think you can insult a king knight? The survivor snarls. How dare you dirty the glorious Lionheart name? Kim Jin-soo steps forward, eyes narrowed, and asks, "A very good person?" The survivor scoffs, refusing to back down. The exchange fuels tension, threatening to split the team just as the gate trembles.
A very good person.
The survivors' rage hints at a deeper secret that could change their fight. Han watches the heated argument and shrugs. Cultural difference, I guess, he mutters, realizing the survivors' customs clash with the hunters' protocol. The hunters glance at each other, unsure how to bridge the gap. Their inability to understand each other risks losing focus on the demon gate's collapse.
He declares that revealing he was once an earthling would not be beneficial. He follows with a low moo, a guttural sound of frustration. This shows he is withholding vital identity information, which could affect trust between him and the hunters. The hunters now face the looming implosion of the Black Gate. The Night King stands up, bragging that he spent 300 years fighting in another world. He says a veteran like him is far better than a 20-something who died from overwork. He then looks at the hunters and orders them to call him Your Majesty, peasant. His arrogance shocks everyone.
The king continues his summary, stating that monsters and demons erupted from the nightmare and that Earth has lived in a constant state of emergency ever since. He pauses, then claims he feels ready to act now, hinting he can adapt to the chaos. This underscores the relentless threat and his confidence, raising the stakes for the hunters.
Monsters and demons poured out. We've been in constant emergency since. I think I'm ready now.
Han will note the differences in this world's rules. The king observes a detail that doesn't match his expectations, noting that something is a bit different. The hunters bring a steaming pot to the Night King. Han lifts the lid, eyes wide. He asks what it is and names it Seol Leong Tang, a peasant's soul food. He explains the broth is simple, made for common folk. The Night King peers at the steam, confused by the humble dish. This cultural clash tests whether the king will accept their aid.
What?
The Night King lifts a spoon, slams the steaming broth to his lips, gasps at the foreign kimchi bite, and erupts, brandishing his sword-like pride while proclaiming himself the Lionheart proxy of the gods. Leon chokes on revulsion. The hunters' fragile alliance shatters as their humble offering is scorned, and the king's disdain strips them of dignity, leaving them powerless and bitter. With the hunters expelled and the Night King's wrath simmering, the kingdom teeters on the brink of civil war, and no one knows whether the Lionheart will finally crush the rebellion. The real villain hasn't even shown their face yet. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari to find out who it is.
You watch the resurrected king wield a god, yet his army deserts him in seconds. The king stands at the head of the banquet, eyes sharp. Han Hard sits across, fidgeting with his fork. The king rebukes Hard for his rude tone earlier. Hard's cheeks flush, but the king offers a chance. Permission to start a new night order, warning him not to act without local consent. This moment decides Hard's mission. Hard still doesn't know the king's hidden condition. Hard asks the chef how they recognize the chicken and black bean noodles. The chef shrugs, then points to the T-bone steak and 1993 red wine on the table. He says the steak's aroma masks the noodle's scent.
A royal official urges Hard to join their country, asking the king for permission so the Korean government can protect him. He explains the 21st century intelligence war aims to scout survivors, warning Hard not to aid the enemy. This matters because it tries to bind Hard to a new allegiance, potentially compromising his original mission. Hard declares his duty as a knight and seeks the Hunters Association. Hard declares that now he lives in this world, he must fight on the battlefield. He claims an honorable knight must take up arms. He also wants to join the Hunters Association, though obstacles remain. A courier rushes into the hall, breathless, and asks Hard, "Are you well?" Hard nods but looks weary from the recent battle. The courier notes his fatigue, fearing it could slow the response to the looming dungeon break. Hard's health becomes a factor in the upcoming SEAL operation. Soon the camera shifts to the spreading corruption across the fields. The ground cracks open, releasing a thick orange mist that rolls over the wheat. Demonic energy seeps into the soil, turning fertile ground black. Crops begin to wither instantly. The spread threatens the entire Honam grain supply, which fuels the kingdom's army. This disaster forces the Phoenix Guild to act now. Lee Yongwan shouts that the gate must be sealed immediately. He warns that if it stays open for a week, control of the auction gate will transfer to another authority. A wounded hunter replies that many guild members are badly injured, making a raid difficult. This matters because the delay could hand over the gate to enemies and jeopardize the region's safety. Hunter Lee Yongwan, we need to close the gate right now. The next move hinges on whether the injured hunters can still fight. You feel the king's eyes burning into you. The king declares they will try to finish the plan by tomorrow but admits they don't know the outcome. Hard demands a clear briefing on the gate. He admits he lacks any details and asks for a concise summary. Lee Yongwan nods and promises to give the information. A nearby officer asks if Hard will receive help, and the reply is a hopeful, yes, yes. This matters because without proper intel, the SEAL mission cannot proceed. Problem, I don't know gate details. Give me a summary. Is he going to help? Yes.
The king steps forward and declares that only women who have already given birth may craft the ceremonial dolls. He points to a group of wives standing nearby and says they are the ones who made the first doll. This rule narrows the pool of contestants and hints that the competition ties to fertility rites. The next scene shows the judges demanding to see every doll. The king raises his voice. Everyone, present the dolls you have made. Courtiers scramble, unveiling a chaotic assortment of straw figures. A banner unfurls, announcing a doll-making contest set right in the middle of the Honan Plains.
A messenger warns that the people across the plains are offering supplies, but the harvest is failing due to the dungeon's black fire. The warning emphasizes that famine looms if the breach isn't sealed. It raises urgency for the Phoenix Guild and Lee Yongwan to act quickly. The stakes rise as the region's food supply hangs in the balance. Lee Yongwan rushes to the shattered gate, ready to fight. The scenes show the shattered gate on the Honan Plains, black flames licking the stone, while Lee Yongwan and his guildmates sprint toward it. Their weapons glow, and a massive demonic seal begins to close. The visual emphasizes the race against time and the looming disaster.
Lee Yongwan steps forward, his voice breaking the silence. He says it's been a while since the last dungeon breach, reminding the gathered hunters of the lingering threat. His words stir the guild members, reinforcing that the demonic seal still looms over the plains. The comment raises urgency to finish sealing the gate before the next wave of corruption spreads. Lee Yongwan readies the Phoenix Guild for the final push. It's been a while. Lee Yongwan and his guild plunge into the shattered gate as black flames lick the stone, while the massive demonic seal flickers to life, fed by water droplets seeping into the mysterious 310 device. Hunters feel hope surge as the seal holds, yet the kingdom's harvest teeters on the edge of ruin, and Lee's rallying words remind them that any lapse could cost lives and livelihoods. A lone star glints above the plains, casting omen-laden light on the pulsing seal, while the 310 device thrums louder, hinting that an unseen force threatens to shatter the fragile piece.
Turn on notifications and make Manwa with Hari your go-to spot for the latest updates. The Night King erupts from the Abyss Forge, his god-forged bladestorm cleaving reality as celestial sunder erupts, iron wrath crashing against a legion of revenant foes. Every strike threatens throne shatter, each heartbeat a blood rune pulse. Victory teeters on the edge of sovereign rebirth, the abyss yawning, demanding sacrifice. The storm clash roars, echoing across shattered heavens, as the kingdom's fate hangs in trembling steel. The Night King erupts from the Abyss Forge, his god-forged bladestorm tearing through the revenant horde as iron wrath cracks the battlefield. Celestial sunder erupts, the throne shatter thunder echoing, while blood rune sigils flare, heralding sovereign rebirth. Every strike cleaves destiny, and the world trembles under the storm clash of a king returned. The balance of power shifts. The Night King, god-forged blade igniting, charges into the Abyss Forge vortex, his iron wrath slicing through the revenant legion as celestial sunder erupts. Each strike brands blood rune sigils, birthing a bladestorm that threatens the throne shatter of the Dark Sovereign. Victory fuels sovereign rebirth. Defeat would drown the realm in endless storm clash. Night King erupts, his god-forged bladestorm cleaving the Abyss Forge battlefield as celestial sunder thunder cracks. Revenant foes crumble beneath iron wrath, each strike a throne shatter echo. Blood runes blaze, heralding sovereign rebirth, while the enemy's last hope wanes in a storm clash of destiny. God-forged steel erupts as the Night King summons a bladestorm, his iron wrath cleaving the Abyss Forge battlefield. Revenant foes crumble beneath celestial sunder, each strike a throne shatter omen. Blood rune sigils flare, heralding sovereign rebirth, while the enemy's last hope shatters like glass under the storm clash of his relentless fury. Night King brandishes his god-forged blade, unleashing a bladestorm that rends the sky, while the revenant godlord erupts, wielding iron wrath. Each strike threatens the throne shatter of the celestial sunder citadel, blood rune sigils igniting with every clash. The Abyss Forge rages, and only sovereign rebirth can halt the storm clash that decides worlds, as destiny trembles. Night King erupts from the Abyss Forge, God-forged bladestorm cleaving the sky as the revenant horde surges. Iron wrath crackles, thunder shattering the throne shatter relic, while celestial sunder light pierces the darkness. Every heartbeat fuels a storm clash. Failure means the kingdom's sovereign rebirth crumbles into abyssal ruin. Night King erupts, God-forged bladestorm cleaving the Abyss Forge, Iron Wrath igniting a thunderous storm clash. Every strike shatters the throne shatter. Blood rune sigils flare as the revenant deity rises, celestial sunder ripping the sky. The kingdom teeters on sovereign rebirth or total ruin, and his fury carves destiny with relentless, blade-kissed ferocity. The Night King, God-forged blade blazing, charges into the Abyss Forge, his iron wrath cleaving the revenant horde as the celestial sunder erupts, each strike a thunderous bladestorm threatening to throne shatter the tyrant's citadel. Blood rune sigils flare, and the sovereign rebirth hangs on a single, storm clash heartbeat. Night King erupts, God-forged bladestorm slicing the horizon as revenant foes crumble beneath iron wrath. Celestial sunder cracks the throne shatter, and blood rune lightning ignites the Abyss Forge, heralding sovereign rebirth. Every heartbeat thunders with storm clash fury. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of annihilation. The Night King brandishes his God-forged blade, conjuring a bladestorm that rends the sky, each strike a thunderous thunderclap of iron wrath. Beneath the tempest, the usurper's throne quivers, ready to shatter under the revenant's fury. If the celestial sunder fails, the Abyss Forge will swallow the realm, igniting a sovereign rebirth of blood rune destiny. The storm clash erupts, sealing his wrath. The Night King, bladestorm blazing, summons the God-forged revenant, its celestial sunder aura ripping the battlefield. Iron wrath clashes with Abyss Forge darkness as the throne shatter ritual ignites, each blood rune strike threatening sovereign rebirth or total ruin. The storm clash erupts, destiny hanging on the edge of a god-kissed blade. Night King, God-forged armor blazing, unleashes a bladestorm that rends the sky, his iron wrath striking the revenant legion. Each thunderclash shatters the throne shatter barrier, blood rune sigils igniting, as celestial sunder fury drives the Abyss Forge darkness back. Victory teeters on the razor's edge, sovereign rebirth or total annihilation. Night King channels God-forged fury, his bladestorm slashes through the Abyss Forge legion, each strike a thunderous throne shatter echo. The revenant deity rises, celestial sunder in its eyes, but iron wrath meets celestial sunder, blood rune blazing across the battlefield. With a final storm clash, the sovereign rebirth ignites, sealing the abyss. The Night King, sword blazing with God-forged blood rune, storms the throne shatter battlefield, his iron wrath cleaving the revenant legion as celestial sunder lightning cracks the sky, each bladestorm a tempest of Abyss Forge fury. The sovereign rebirth teeters on the edge of annihilation, and the kingdom's fate hangs on his final, thunder-charged strike. The Night King erupts from the Abyss Forge, his God-forged bladestorm carving a crimson path as celestial sunder erupts around him. Revenant foes crumble beneath iron wrath, each strike a throne-shatter thunder that threatens the Empire's very foundation. Blood rune sigils flare, heralding a sovereign rebirth, while the storm clash intensifies, sealing destiny in molten steel. The balance of power shifts. The God-forged bladestorm erupts as the Night King, Elric, summons celestial sunder fury, his iron wrath cleaving through the revenant horde. Every strike threatens throne shatter, blood rune sigils igniting the Abyss Forge beneath. With sovereign rebirth blazing, the battlefield trembles, a storm clash of destiny where the abyss itself recoils. Night King erupts, God-forged blade storm tearing the sky as the revenant deity lunges. Iron wrath clashes with celestial sunder, each strike a throne shatter echo. Blood rune sigils flare, storm clash fury ignites the abyss forge beneath their feet. Sovereign rebirth hangs on the razor edge, destiny teetering between ruin and radiant triumph. Night King Rian, brandishing the god-forged blade storm, clashes with the celestial sunder deity, his iron wrath forging a thunderous storm clash that threatens to shatter the throne of eternity. Every blood rune strike cracks the abyss forge beneath, and the revenant echo of his sovereign rebirth roars, demanding the world bend or break. Night King brandishes his god-forged blade storm, each swing carving celestial sunder across the battlefield. Revenant foes crumble under iron wrath, blood rune sigils igniting as the throne shatter thunder erupts. The abyss forge erupts behind him, heralding sovereign rebirth, while storm clash titans clash, destiny hanging on a single strike. Night King unleashes a god-forged blade storm, iron wrath crackling as the celestial sunder altar erupts, blood rune sigils flaring. Every strike threatens throne shatter, the abyss forge darkness clawing at his soul. Revenant spirits scream, but his sovereign rebirth roars louder, storm clash fury tearing the heavens, destiny hanging on a single, thunder-charged blow. The Night King unleashes a god-forged blade storm, iron wrath blazing as celestial sunder erupts, shredding the enemy legion. Revenant specters falter under the blood rune on his sword, while the throne shatter thunder cracks the sky. Every strike fuels a sovereign rebirth, and the abyss forge of his will threatens to devour the kingdom's very heart. Night King Ryu unleashes a god-forged blade storm, iron wrath rippling across the battlefield as celestial sunder shards cascade, shattering the usurper's throne shatter defenses. Revenant spirits howl, blood rune sigils ignite, and the abyss forge erupts beneath his feet, sealing the sovereign rebirth. Every strike threatens the kingdom's very soul, a storm clash of destiny. The Night King, his sword a god-forged thunderclap, charges into the abyss forge battlefield, blood rune veins pulsing as revenant warriors erupt. Above, the celestial sunder sky cracks, heralding a throne-shatter destiny. Each iron wrath strike summons a storm clash, the sovereign rebirth of a kingdom hanging on a single blade storm. The Night King lunges forward, his god-forged blade storm cleaving the abyss forge armor of the revenant horde, each strike a thunderous throne-shatter echo. Blood rune sigils flare, igniting a celestial sunder that rends the sky, while iron wrath fury erupts, threatening the sovereign rebirth of the realm. Victory teeters on a razor's edge. The Night King, god-forged blade blazing, charges into the abyss forge, his iron wrath cleaving the revenant horde as a blade storm erupts, each strike a throne shatter echo. Above, celestial sunder thunder cracks, promising sovereign rebirth. If his blood rune falters, the kingdom crumbles into endless night. The balance of power shifts. Night King brandishes his god-forged blade storm, each slash cleaving the abyss forge horizon as the celestial sundered sky erupts. Opposing him, the revenant legion erupts, iron wrath flashing, seeking to throne shatter his sovereign rebirth. Blood runes blaze across his armor, fueling a storm clash that will decide whether the kingdom rises or falls into eternal darkness. The balance of power shifts. The Night King unleashes a god-forged blade storm, iron wrath scorching the heavens as revenant legions surge. Blood rune sigils flare, driving the celestial sunder toward the throne shatter. Every strike carves a storm clash, abyss forge echoing across the battlefield, daring the divine to deny his sovereign rebirth. Failure means the world crumbles beneath a shattered sky. The balance of power shifts. Aaron brandishes the god-forged blade storm, iron wrath crackling as celestial sunder erupts, shattering the revenant horde that threatens the throne shatter altar. Blood rune sigils flare, igniting an abyss-forged tempest that tears the sky. God Astra's roar reverberates, sealing the tempest. Every strike fuels sovereign rebirth, and if the storm clash falters, darkness devours the kingdom forever. God-forged steel erupts as the Night King, revenant of the Abyss Forge, slams his iron wrath bladestorm into the throne shatter celestial sunder. Blood rune sigils flare, each strike a thunderous storm clash that threatens sovereign rebirth. With the kingdom teetering on abyssal ruin, his fury shatters destiny, forging a new epoch from shattered crowns. The Night King slams his god-forged bladestorm into the abyss-forged citadel, each strike echoing thunder, while the celestial sunder deity raises a storm clash of blood-rune fury, threatening to shatter the throne shatter realm. Iron wrath crackles, revenant shadows surge, and the sovereign rebirth hinges on the blade's final, soul-splintering arc. The resurrected Night King, ardent, summons a god-forged bladestorm, his iron wrath cleaving the abyss-forged battlefield as celestial sunder shards rain down. Opposing revenants rally, but the throne-shatter thunder of his blood-rune sword ripples through the storm clash, each strike a sovereign rebirth promise. Failure means total annihilation, and the kingdom teeters on the edge of oblivion. The Night King Aaron lunges, his god-forged bladestorm cleaving the revenant horde as blood-rune sparks flare. Opposing him, the celestial sunder tyrant Malakar summons abyss-forged thunder, each strike threatening sovereign rebirth. Iron wrath collides with stormclash, and the throne shatter echo promises a kingdom's ruin unless Aaron's fury severs the darkness. He roars, blood-rune armor igniting, as the battlefield trembles beneath the abyss-forged tempest. Night King erupts with a god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath colliding against the revenant horde as celestial sunder cracks the heavens. Each strike ignites blood-rune fire, threatening the throne shatter of the abyss-forged citadel. The sovereign rebirth hinges on this storm clash. Failure would plunge the realm into eternal darkness. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, thunderous iron wrath ripping through the abyss-forged legion as the celestial sunder erupts, each clash a throne shatter echo. Revenant shadows surge, but his blood-rune shield blazes, forging sovereign rebirth amid storm clash, and the kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of annihilation as the heavens tremble. The Night King summons a god-forged bladestorm, his iron wrath slicing through the revenant horde as celestial sunder fissures the sky. Each strike births a throne-shatter thunder, blood-rune sigils igniting the abyss forge beneath his feet. Victory hinges on the sovereign rebirth of his shattered realm, storm clash echoing across the dying horizon. The Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath slicing through revenant legions as the celestial sunder erupts, each strike a throne-shatter thunder, blood-rune sigils flare. The abyss forge of his soul ignites, driving the sovereign rebirth toward the final storm clash, where kingdoms crumble beneath his relentless fury. Night King Aaron erupts a god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath slicing through the abyss-forged legion. Each strike rends the celestial sunder barrier, seeking throne shatter as the revenant horde erupts. Blood runes flare, the sovereign rebirth teeters on the edge of annihilation. Only a single thunderous clash can seal the kingdom's fate. Night King Arion brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, the heavens cracking as the revenant god sunder erupts, iron wrath clashing against the abyss forge horde. Every strike threatens sovereign rebirth. Each blood rune pulses a thunderous storm clash that could shatter the throne of eternity. The realm teeters on the edge of celestial sunder, destiny hanging by a blade. Night King erupts, god-forged bladestorm tearing through the abyss-forged citadel, each strike a thunderous iron wrath that shatters the celestial sunder throne. Revenant legions crumble beneath blood-rune fury, while his rival, the sovereign revenant,
lunges, desperate to snatch the sovereign rebirth crown. The battlefield erupts, destiny hanging on a single stormclash blow. The balance of power shifts. The Night King, God-forged bladestorm erupting from his gauntlet, slams the revenant horde, each strike a thunderous throne shatter that ripples across the battlefield. Celestial Sunder roars as the abyss-forged darkness threatens to swallow the realm, but his iron wrath carves a blood-rune path toward sovereign rebirth, Stormclash echoing his unyielding will. Bladestorm erupts as the Night King summons his god-forged sword, iron wrath humming against the heavens. Revenant shadows surge, seeking throne shatter, while celestial sunder flashes across the abyss forge. Blood rune sigils ignite, stormclash roaring, and the sovereign rebirth teeters on the brink of annihilation. The divine adversary, Zephyr, lunges, his abyssal blade cracking the sky. Night King erupts, god-forged bladestorm tearing the sky, iron wrath hammering the revenant throne shatter. Celestial sunder rends the abyss forge, blood rune sigils flare as sovereign rebirth ignites. Every strike fuels a stormclash, the kingdom's fate hanging on his bladestorm, a thunderous promise that none shall survive the iron wrath unleashed. The heavens crack, and the ancient oath shatters beneath his relentless onslaught. The balance of power shifts. Night King Arion brandishes the god-forged bladestorm, each swing cleaving the abyss-forged darkness that threatens to eclipse the realm. Beside him, the revenant deity shatters the throne shatter sigils, unleashing a celestial sunder vortex that rips the sky. Failure would drown the sovereign rebirth in blood rune chaos. Victory ignites an iron wrath tempest. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, striking the revenant army while the throne shatter thunder cracks the sky. Each clash a celestial sunder of destiny. Iron wrath fuels his strike, blood rune sigils flare, and the abyss-forged darkness threatens to swallow the kingdom. Victory or sovereign rebirth hinges on every blade clash, the storm clash roaring toward an ultimate throne shatter. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath rippling across the battlefield as the celestial sunder vortex erupts. Revenant foes crumble under the thunderous throne shatter, blood rune sigils igniting the abyss forge. Every heartbeat fuels the sovereign rebirth, and the kingdom teeters on the brink of annihilation unless his stormclash erupts victorious. Night King Riven unleashes a god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath slicing the heavens as the celestial sundered throne trembles. Revenant spirits erupt, blood rune sigils flare, and the abyss forge erupts beneath his feet. Every strike threatens sovereign rebirth, shattering the enemy's resolve in a stormclash that could crown or doom the realm. Night King summons the god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath blazing across the battlefield as the revenant horde erupts. Every strike trembles the abyss forge, threatening throne shatter. The celestial sunder above crackles, and blood rune liturgy fuels his sovereign rebirth. If he falters, the kingdom will drown in darkness. His roar ignites the stormclash, shattering fate. The Night King unsheathes his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath crackling as the revenant legion erupts, each strike a throne shatter thunder. Celestial sunder light arcs, blood rune sigils flare, and the abyss-forged darkness claws at his soul. Victory teeters on a sovereign rebirth, every heartbeat a stormclash against oblivion. The heavens roar, and the king's resolve ignites, forging destiny with each thunderous blow. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath erupting as the revenant legion crashes against his celestial sunder shield. Each strike sends thunderous echo, threatening to throne shatter the abyss-forged citadel. Blood rune veins flare, and the sovereign rebirth pulse surges, turning the battlefield into a stormclash where destiny hangs on a single, blazing arc. The balance of power shifts. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm. Iron Wrath slicing through the Abyss Forge horde as revenant warriors crumble beneath celestial sunder. Each thrust ignites blood rune sigils, shattering the tyrant's throne shatter defense. The heavens roar, storm clash echoing. While the divine sovereign rises, eyes ablaze with sovereign rebirth, daring the darkness to devour his kingdom. He summons the celestial gale, forging destiny's edge. The balance of power shifts. Thunderous iron wrath erupts as the Night King, god-forged bladestorm in hand, slices through the revenant legion, each strike igniting blood rune fissures that threaten to throne shatter the dark citadel. The celestial sunder overhead looms, and if his sovereign rebirth falters, the Abyss Forge will swallow the realm forever. The Night King brandishes his god-forged blade, igniting a bladestorm that rends the sky, while the revenant deity beside him unleashes celestial sunder, shattering the dark throne. Iron Wrath collides with Abyss Forge shadows, each strike carving blood rune sigils of sovereign rebirth. If the storm clash falters, the kingdom crumbles into void. Only relentless fury can seal the abyss. The Night King, his armor ablaze with god-forged iron wrath, lunges into the Abyss Forge vortex, bladestorm cleaving the revenant legion. Every strike summons a thunderous throne shatter, echoing celestial sunder across the battlefield. If he falters, the kingdom crumbles, swallowed by the storm clash's endless night. His blood rune heart beats relentless, forging sovereign rebirth amidst chaos. Night King Riven, his iron wrath hammering the battlefield, summons a god-forged bladestorm that rends the heavens. Opposite, the celestial sunder revenant god of desolation erupts, its blood rune aura scorching the Abyss Forge beneath. Each strike threatens throne shatter, each clash a storm clash for sovereign rebirth, as the world teeters on the edge of oblivion. The Night King, god-forged bladestorm blazing, charges the revenant altar, iron wrath screaming as celestial sunder shatters the throne shatter sigil. Blood rune fury erupts. The god, Abyss Forge power humming, counters with storm clash fury, each strike a sovereign rebirth threat. One misstep seals the kingdom's ruin. The clash ignites destiny's final inferno. Night King erupts from the Abyss Forge, his god-forged bladestorm slashing through the revenant legion as celestial sunder lightning cracks the sky. Iron Wrath meets blood rune shields, each strike echoing throne shatter destiny. The sovereign rebirth hinges on this storm clash. One misstep summons the abyss, and the kingdom crumbles. The Night King unleashes a god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath crashing against the revenant legion. Each strike carves blood rune sigils, shattering the throne's dark covenant. Celestial sunder erupts as the Abyss Forge ignites beneath his feet, and the sovereign rebirth blazes, promising a throne shatter that rips the heavens asunder. The balance of power shifts. Night King shatters the throne shatter barrier with his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath surging as celestial sunder cracks the sky. Revenant hordes surge, but his blood rune sword carves a storm clash, forging an Abyss Forge path toward sovereign rebirth. Every strike ignites the realm's fate. The kingdom teeters on the edge of annihilation. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath roaring as the revenant horde surges. The celestial sunder erupts, shattering the throne shatter's ancient sigils. Blood rune fire surges, each strike a storm clash that rends the Abyss Forge. If the sovereign rebirth fails, darkness consumes the realm, and the kingdom crumbles beneath the relentless onslaught. The balance of power shifts. The Night King, his soul ablaze, slams the god-forged bladestorm into the Abyss Forge altar, each strike a thunderous thunderclash that rends the heavens. Blood rune sigils flare as the revenant army erupts, iron wrath crushing the celestial sunder throne shatter. Victory teeters on a razor's edge, If the sovereign rebirth falters, darkness devours all. Night King erupts, his god-forged blade storms slashing through the celestial sunder, each strike a thunderous throne shatter that threatens the Empire's very foundation. Opposing revenants surge, but Iron Wrath meets Abyss Forge, blood rune blazing across the battlefield. With each storm clash, the sovereign rebirth teeters on the edge of annihilation, destiny hanging by a single razor-sharp breath. Night King brandishes his god-forged blade storm, Iron Wrath rippling across the battlefield as the revenant army erupts. The celestial sunder of his strike threatens to throne shatter the tyrant's citadel, while blood rune fury surges, forging an abyss forge of destiny. Every heartbeat drums a storm clash, sealing sovereign rebirth. The balance of power shifts. The Night King summons a god-forged blade storm, Iron Wrath erupting as celestial sunder cracks the sky. Revenant foes cascade into Abyss Forge, their blood rune screams. With each thunderous strike, the throne shatter looms, sovereign rebirth teetering on the edge of ruin. Victory demands Stormclash fury, or the kingdom falls. Night King Arion brandishes his god-forged blade storm, the steel humming with blood rune fury as the revenant god erupts, celestial sunder tearing the heavens. Iron Wrath collides with abyss-forged darkness, each strike a throne-shatter thunder. The sovereign rebirth teeters on the edge of annihilation, Stormclash echoing, destiny hanging by a single, razor-sharp breath. The balance of power shifts. The Night King summons a god-forged blade storm, his Iron Wrath cleaving through the abyss-forged darkness as celestial sunder lightning arcs across the battlefield. Revenant foes crumble beneath the throne-shatter roar of his blood-rune sword, each strike a stormclash that threatens sovereign rebirth. The kingdom's fate trembles on the edge of annihilation. The balance of power shifts. Night King unleashes a god-forged blade storm, Iron Wrath cleaving the sky as celestial sunder roars. Revenant foes crumble beneath the thunderous throne shatter, blood rune sigils igniting the Abyss Forge. Each strike fuels a sovereign rebirth, unrelenting stormclash echoing across the battlefield, where the realm's fate hangs on the edge of his blade. The balance of power shifts. Night King shatters the heavens, his god-forged blade storm rending the Abyss Forge as the revenant army erupts. Blood rune scarlets flare, Iron Wrath clashing against celestial sunder, each strike a throne-shatter thunder. The sovereign rebirth hinges on this storm clash. If his blade falters, the kingdom plunges into eternal night. Night King, reborn with a god-forged blade, erupts into a blade storm, every slash carving blood rune sigils into the heavens. The revenant army surges, but celestial sunder erupts from his Iron Wrath, shattering the enemy's throne-shatter ambitions. Stormclash intensifies as Abyss Forge darkness threatens to swallow the realm, yet sovereign rebirth flickers, promising ultimate conquest. The Night King unleashes a god-forged blade storm, each slash a thunderous Iron Wrath that rends the enemy ranks. Across the shattered throne, revenant soldiers rise, their blood runes igniting a celestial sunder. The Abyss Forge of his fury collides with the enemy's stormclash, threatening sovereign rebirth or total annihilation. No mercy, only conquest. The balance of power shifts. Night King Aaron brandishes his god-forged blade storm, Iron Wrath searing the battlefield as the revenant deity Asterion summons celestial sunder, ripping the sky. Every thunderous strike threatens throne shatter, the Abyss Forge of their clash echoing across kingdoms. Blood rune fire erupts, sealing sovereign rebirth or crushing his empire beneath a storm-clash tempest. The Night King erupts, god-forged blade storm carving the heavens, as the revenant deity lunges. Iron Wrath clashes with celestial sunder, each strike echoing throne shatter, blood rune fury igniting the Abyss Forge. Sovereign rebirth hangs on the edge of this storm clash,
the realm trembling under the Bladestorm's relentless roar. No mercy, only destiny fuels the clash. Night King brandishes his god-forged Bladestorm, cleaving through the revenant horde as iron wrath cracks the citadel's walls. Blood rune sigils flare, heralding a celestial sunder that threatens the throne shatter of the tyrant emperor. Every strike ignites abyss-forge fury, driving the sovereign rebirth toward an unstoppable storm clash of destiny. Night King Arion's god-forged blade erupts into a bladestorm, iron wrath slashing the revenant legion as celestial sunder shatters the throne shatter sigil, blood rune fire scorching the abyss forge beneath. Every strike fuels sovereign rebirth, a storm clash that could rend the kingdom's heart or crown his eternal reign. No mercy, only relentless conquest. Night King brandishes his god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath churning as he slams the revenant hordes, each strike a thunderous throne shatter that rattles the abyss forge. Beside him, the celestial sundered god roars, blood rune fury igniting a storm clash that threatens to rend the heavens. Victory or oblivion hangs on this sovereign rebirth. The balance of power shifts. The Night King erupts, god-forged bladestorm cleaving the battlefield as the revenant god roars, sky tearing with celestial sunder. Every iron wrath strike shatters the oppressor's throne shatter, while blood rune sigils flare, sealing the abyss forge that threatens to swallow the kingdom. With sovereign rebirth hanging on a razor edge, his stormclash fury decides the realm's destiny. Night King Aaron unleashes a god-forged bladestorm, iron wrath slicing the abyss forge battlefield as the revanchist tyrant male erupts, blood rune sigils flaring. Celestial sunder thunder cracks, shattering the throne shatter altar. Each strike summons a revenant vortex, stormclash fury tearing reality. The sovereign rebirth hinges on Aaron's final thrust, destiny hanging by a blade.
If you want the best narration on YouTube, you found it. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
Night King, blood riven and godforge reforged, bursts from the celestial crucible, his blade igniting a sword storm that shreds the darkness. Ari's thunderstrike radiates, sealing the abyssal rift as Princess Hyojin's eyes blaze with hope. Behind them, Lord Song's shadow trembles, while General Beck rallies the vanguard, poised for the stormclash of destiny. The Night King, godforge fire blazing across his armor, charges the throne hall, sword storm humming with celestial fury. Ari's divine aura erupts, thunderstrike lighting his blade, while Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding. Lord Song trembles, his abyssal minions faltering before the vanguard of the King Reborn. Blood-riven resolve fuels the storm clash. The kingdom's fate teeters on a razor edge. Night King, godforge flame blazing across his blade, erupts from the shattered throne hall, his blood-riven resolve colliding with Lord Song's abyssal forces. Ari's celestial thunderstrike shatters the vaulted sky as General Beck leads a vanguard of steel, while Princess Hyojin's desperate cry fuels the storm clash, sealing the kingdom's fate in a sword storm of redemption. Night King, godforge aura blazing, charges the throne hall, his sword storm cutting through abyssal shadows as Lord Song's vanguard falters. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, while General Beck unleashes thunderstrike, shattering the blood-riven banners. The kingdom teeters on the edge of ruin, and the King Reborn stakes his vengeance upon the throne. The King Reborn shatters the sky, his godforged blade igniting a blazing sword storm that rends Lord Song's vanguard. Ari's celestial fury courses through his veins, thunderstrike after thunderstrike, while Princess Hyojin's desperate cry fuels his blood-riven resolve. Every strike decides the kingdom's salvation, and the abyssal war drums echo with destiny's roar. General Beck rallies the shattered troops, their eyes alight with renewed hope. Lightning crackles as the King Reborn, stormclash sword storm blazing,
slashes through the abyssal ranks. Ari's celestial aura fuels his blade, turning each strike into a thunderstrike of God-forged fire. Beside him, General Beck leads the vanguard, while Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze. Behind, Lord Song's conspirators tremble. One false step will cost them blood-riven ruin. The Night King, blood-riven steel humming, charges through a blazing tempest, his god-forged blade slicing abyssal clouds. Lord Song unleashes a thunderstrike, vanguard forces surging, but the King Reborn summons a celestial swordstorm, scattering foes. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, as destiny teeters on the edge of ruin. Blazing aura erupts as the King Reborn raises his god-forged blade, its celestial edge igniting a swordstorm that shatters the abyssal night. Lord Song's regent forces falter under the thunderstrike of the vanguard, while Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, as General Beck charges, blood-riven resolve fueling the storm clash for the throne. Night King, blood-riven and King Reborn, summons a god-forged blaze that erupts from his palm, igniting the battlefield. Ari's celestial chorus fuels a swordstorm, each blade a thunderstrike against Lord Song's vanguard. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, as the abyssal tide of vengeance surges forward, promising a storm clash that will shatter the usurper's throne. Night King, King Reborn, ignites a blazing god-forged blade, thunderstrike echoing across the citadel as a celestial swordstorm erupts. Lord Song rallies his abyssal vanguard, blood-riven steel flashing, while Ari, the divine, crowns his warrior with celestial fire. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, as General Beck charges, storm clash sealing destiny. The kingdom trembles beneath their clash, fate forging anew. Night King, god-forged fire blazing from Ari's palm, slashes through the storm clash, his blood-riven blade carving a thunderstrike across Lord Song's armor. Beside him, General Beck rallies the vanguard, while Princess Hyojin's eyes flare with celestial resolve. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of abyssal ruin, every heartbeat a battle for the throne. Night King, blood-riven and god-forged, lunges forward as celestial fire erupts from his blade, igniting a swordstorm that shatters the palace courtyard. Lord Song, vanguard of betrayal, raises a cursed shield, but the King Reborn's thunderstrike rends it, spilling abyssal light. Beside him, General Beck charges, while Ari's whisper steadies Hyojin's trembling heart. Revenge hangs on a single, blazing breath. The Night King, god-forged aura blazing, lunges forward, his blood-riven blade igniting a swordstorm that tears the abyssal battlefield. Lord Song summons vanguard soldiers, but thunderstrike after thunderstrike shatters their ranks. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, while Ari's celestial power fuels the King Reborn's relentless storm clash. Night King, King Reborn, erupts from the shadows, his blade ignited with blazing, god-forged fire, cutting through the abyssal mist. Lord Song's guard falters as celestial thunderstrike shatters their ranks, and Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding. Blood-riven vows echo, vanguard spirits rally, and the storm clash of destiny ignites. Night King, god-forged aura blazing, erupts from the battlefield, his blood-riven blade igniting a storm clash that shatters the abyssal sky. Lord Song lunges, but the vanguard of celestial steel meets him, thunderstrike echoing as Ari's voice fuels the swordstorm. Princess Hyojin clenches her fists, hope igniting amid the raging tempest. The King Reborn Night King, god-forged aura blazing, unsheathes a celestial blade as a thunderstrike of swordstorm erupts, slicing through Lord Song's abyssal vanguard. Princess Hyojin rallies the troops, eyes fierce, while General Beck charges, blood-riven resolve igniting the battlefield. Ari's divine chant fuels the storm clash, every heartbeat a promise of reclaimed throne. Night King, blood-riven and king reborn, brandishes his god-forged blade as celestial fire erupts, igniting a blazing sword storm. Ari's thunderstrike aura crackles, shattering the abyssal darkness behind Lord Song's oncoming legion. Princess Hyojin's eyes blaze with hope while General Beck rallies the vanguard, every heartbeat a storm clash for the kingdom's salvation. Night King ignites his god-forged blade, blazing a storm clash across the battlefield as Ari's celestial aura crackles, thunderstrike fury. Beside him, General Beck rallies the vanguard, blood-riven banners flaring. Opposite, Lord Song smirks, his abyssal sword poised, but the King Reborn's resolve shatters his confidence, and Princess Hyojin's hopeful gaze fuels the oncoming sword storm. Night King, blood-riven and King Reborn, raises his god-forged blade, its edge igniting a blazing celestial fire. Beside him, General Beck charges the vanguard, while Princess Hyojin shouts a prayer, the sky trembling with thunderstrike. Lord Song's abyssal legion falters as a sword storm erupts, a storm clash that decides the throne. Night King, King Reborn, erupts from the shadows, his god-forged blade igniting a blazing sword storm that shatters the courtyard. Ari's divine thunderstrike pulses through his veins, while Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding. Lord Song, blood-riven and desperate, raises his cursed axe, but General Beck leads the vanguard, charging into the storm clash, destiny hanging on a single blade. The balance of power shifts. Night King, King Reborn, brandishes his god-forged blade, its edge a blazing, blood-riven thunderstrike that rends the battlefield. Ari's celestial light surges, fueling a sword storm that shatters Lord Song's abyssal shield. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, while General Beck charges the vanguard, their fury a storm clash for the throne. Night King, King Reborn, unsheathes his god-forged blade, its edge igniting a blazing sword storm that tears through Lord Song's abyssal guard. Ari's celestial thunderstrike crackles behind him, while Princess Hyojin rallies the vanguard, eyes firelit. General Beck charges, blood-riven steel clashing, and the kingdom's fate hangs on the storm clash's roar. The balance of power shifts. Night King, god-forged blade ignited, storms across the battlefield as celestial thunderstrike shatters the enemy line. Beside him, Ari's radiant aura blazes, empowering the vanguard. Princess Hyojin rallies the troops, her resolve a blood-riven banner, while General Beck charges, steel screaming. Lord Song snarls, knowing the kingdom teeters on the edge of abyssal ruin. Night King, King Reborn, brandishes his god-forged blade, its blazing edge cleaving through the abyssal mist as Lord Song's vanguard falters. Thunderstrike fury meets blood-riven steel, a storm clash of celestial wrath. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ignited, while General Beck rallies the troops, the kingdom's fate hanging on this sword storm. The balance of power shifts. Night King, blood-riven and King Reborn, charges forward as Ari's celestial light god-forge a blazing aura around his blade. Princess Hyojin rallies the vanguard, her resolve igniting a thunderstrike across the battlefield. Lord Song's abyssal legions falter under the sword storm, while General Beck leads a relentless storm clash, each strike carving destiny's edge. Night King, King Reborn, channels Ari's celestial fury, his god-forged blade igniting a blazing sword storm that cleaves the abyssal ranks. Lord Song's vanguard erupts under thunderstrike, blood-riven steel meeting divine light. Princess Hyojin rallies the troops, while General Beck drives forward, every heartbeat a storm clash for the throne's salvation. The balance of power shifts. Night King, Godforge aura blazing, charges the throne hall, his blood-riven blade cutting a thunderstrike through the darkness. Lord Song, abyssal grin fading, summons vanguard soldiers as celestial fire erupts around Princess Hyojin, who steadies herself. Every heartbeat fuels a storm clash. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of ruin or redemption. The balance of power shifts. Night King, King Reborn, brandishes a blazing God-forged sword, its edge cutting a thunderstrike through the air as Lord Song's blood-riven armor shatters. Princess Hyojin's eyes blaze with hope while General Beck's vanguard surges. A storm clash of steel echoing across the hall. Ari's celestial fury fuels the assault, the kingdom's fate hanging on a single, abyssal strike. Night King, reborn with celestial fire, slashes a blazing God-forged blade toward Lord Song's abyssal throne, thunderstrike echoing across the battlefield. Ari's divine aura shields Princess Hyojin, while General Beck leads the vanguard, charging through blood-riven ranks. The kingdom trembles. One strike decides whether darkness or redemption reigns. Night King, King Reborn, channels Ari's celestial fury, his blade igniting a blazing God-forged blaze that cleaves the battlefield. Lord Song's abyssal forces crumble as thunderstrike after thunderstrike shatter their ranks. Princess Hyojin rallies the vanguard, eyes alight with hope, while General Beck leads a storm clash of steel, sealing the usurper's fate. The balance of power shifts. Night King, God-forged fire blazing across his blade, charges the throne hall, his blood-riven sword cutting a thunderstrike arc. Ari's celestial aura shields him as Lord Song summons abyssal shadows, but General Beck's vanguard holds the line. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, as the King Reborn meets the storm clash, destiny hanging on each blade flash. Night King, Godforge aura blazing, charges into the throne hall, celestial thunderstrike cracking the air as his sword storm rends the abyssal shadows. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, while General Beck rallies the vanguard. Lord Song, blood-riven and trembling, faces the King Reborn, stakes soaring to the kingdom's very soul. Night King, King Reborn, channels God-forged fury, unleashing a blazing sword storm that rends the abyssal battlefield. Lord Song's regent army shatters under thunderstrike as General Beck leads the vanguard. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, while Ari's celestial light crowns the night, sealing his blood-riven oath of vengeance. Stakes surge. The throne teeters on the edge of ruin. Night King brandishes his God-forged blade, a blazing thunderstrike igniting the battlefield as Ari's celestial aura surges, turning steel into abyssal fire. Opposite, Lord Song snarls, his blood-riven legion closing in. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, while General Beck rallies the vanguard, ready to storm clash for the throne reborn. Night King, Godforge aura blazing, charges through the storm clash, his sword storm cleaving Lord Song's abyssal legion. Blood-riven steel meets celestial shield as Princess Hyojin rallies the vanguard, while General Beck unleashes thunderstrike volleys. Ari's divine whisper fuels the King Reborn's fury, each strike a thunderous promise. Seize the throne or watch the kingdom burn. The battlefield erupts, destiny hanging on a blade's edge. The balance of power shifts. Night King, King Reborn, summons a blazing God-forged blade, its edge humming with celestial fire. He charges the abyssal throne hall, thunderstrike fury cracking the stone as Lord Song's blood-riven guards crumble. Ari's aura ignites a sword storm, while Princess Hyojin steals her heart and General Beck leads the vanguard, seizing destiny. The King Reborn brandishes his God-forged blade, its edge igniting a blazing, blood-riven arc that cleaves the thunderstrike clouds. Ari's celestial aura surges, empowering General Beck as they charge the abyssal citadel. Princess Hyojin, eyes alight, summons a sword storm, forcing Lord Song into a storm clash where kingdoms hang on a single vanguard strike. Night King, Godforge armor igniting, charges amid a blazing sword storm, his blade blood-riven and humming with Ari's celestial wrath. Beside him, General Beck's vanguard shatters the enemy line as Lord Song's abyssal legions falter. Princess Hyojin watches, heart thunderstrike, knowing the kingdom's fate hinges on this storm clash. Night King, Godforge flame blazing across his blade, charges into the abyssal battlefield, his blood-riven sword storm tearing through Lord Song's vanguard. Beside him, General Beck unleashes a thunderstrike that shatters enemy shields, while Ari's celestial aura shields Princess Hyojin's hopeful eyes. The throne trembles. Every heartbeat decides whether the kingdom falls or the king reborn reigns. The balance of power shifts. Night King, blood-riven and Godforge, erupts from the storm clash, his blazing celestial blade igniting a thunderstrike that shatters the vanguard of Lord Song's abyssal legion. Every heartbeat drums vengeance. If the regent's dark tide overruns the capital, the kingdom crumbles, but the king reborn will not yield. Ari's celestial chorus fuels his resolve. Night King, King Reborn, brandishes his God-forged blade, its edge blazing with celestial fire. Lord Song's abyssal legion charges, but the vanguard shatters under a thunderstrike of swordstorm. Blood-riven steel meets armor, storm clash echoing across the battlefield, while Princess Hyojin rallies the troops, eyes burning with vengeance. The kingdom's fate teeters on the razor's edge. The balance of power shifts. Night King, his sword storm ignited by Ari's celestial wrath, charges through the throne hall, thunderstrike echoing as blood-riven banners flutter. Lord Song, desperate, summons abyssal guards, but the vanguard of General Beck surges forward, cutting a path. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge. If the king reborn falters, darkness devours all. Night King, his celestial blade blazing with Ari's God-forged fire, charges the throne's corrupted courtyard. Lord Song summons blood-riven abyssal spears, but the king reborn unleashes a thunderstrike, igniting a storm clash that shatters the regent's defenses. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, while General Beck rallies the vanguard, the kingdom's fate hanging on each sword storm. Night King, Godforge armor blazing, unsheathes his celestial blade, storm clash against Lord Song's abyssal legions. Ari's thunderstrike radiates, empowering his vanguard strike. General Beck leads the rally, while Princess Hyojin cries defiant, urging the king reborn to seize the throne. The kingdom teeters on the edge of ruin, blood-riven destiny hanging by a blade. Night King, Godforge armor gleaming, unleashes a blazing swordstorm, his blood-riven blade cutting through Lord Song's abyssal shield. Ari's celestial fire fuels his thunderstrike, while General Beck leads the vanguard, marching beside the king reborn. Princess Hyojin watches, heart racing, as the storm clash decides the kingdom's fate, survival or ruin. Night King, blood-riven and king reborn, channels Ari's celestial fury into a blazing God-forged blade, slashing through the storm clash of Lord Song's abyssal legion. General Beck rallies the vanguard, while Princess Hyojin's resolve ignites the battlefield. Every thunderstrike decides the throne's fate. If the king falls, the kingdom crumbles. Night King, blood-riven and king reborn, charges through a blazing God-forged tempest, his celestial blade igniting a swordstorm that shatters Lord Song's abyssal guard. Ari's thunderstrike aura surges, empowering General Beck's vanguard as they clash in a storm clash of steel. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, the kingdom's fate hanging on the edge of ruin. Night King erupts,
blood-riven blade humming with Ari's God-forged fire, as he slashes through Lord Song's vanguard. Princess Hyojin rallies the troops, her eyes blazing with resolve, while General Beck unleashes a thunderstrike formation. The kingdom trembles, the throne hangs by a breath, and the abyssal clash decides destiny. Night King, King Reborn, channels Ari's celestial fury, his blade igniting into a god-forged blaze. Lord Song's regent army crashes forward, but the vanguard shatters under a thunderstrike of abyssal light. Blood-riven steel meets stormclash as the resurrected ruler rends the battlefield, his resolve sealing the kingdom's fate in a sword storm of redemption. The balance of power shifts. The King Reborn erupts, his god-forged blade igniting a blazing sword storm that rends the battlefield. Lord Song's regent forces crumble under the thunderstrike of Ari's celestial wrath, while Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding. Blood-riven steel meets abyssal darkness, and General Beck rallies the vanguard, knowing the kingdom's fate hangs on this storm clash. The balance of power shifts. Night King, King Reborn, brandishes his god-forged blade, unleashing a blazing sword storm that rends the air. Lord Song, blood-riven and desperate, counters with a thunderstrike, but Ari's celestial aura shields the monarch. Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, as General Beck charges the vanguard. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of abyssal ruin. The balance of power shifts. Night King, blood-riven and King Reborn, lunges forward, his god-forged blade igniting a blazing stormclash against Lord Song's abyssal spear. Ari's celestial fury crackles, amplifying the sword storm, while Princess Hyojin's heart races, fearing the thunderstrike that could shatter the kingdom. General Beck rallies the vanguard, ready to seize destiny. The battlefield erupts in crimson light, each clash echoing the past betrayal. The balance of power shifts. Night King, blood-riven and King Reborn, summons a blazing god-forged sword storm, its celestial edge cleaving through the abyssal darkness as Lord Song's vanguard falters. Thunderstrike fury erupts, shattering the regent's armor, while Princess Hyojin watches, heart ablaze, knowing the throne's fate hangs on this storm clash. Ari's divine whisper fuels the king's relentless onslaught. Night King, god-forged aura blazing, charges the throne's shattered courtyard, his sword storm cleaving the blood-riven ranks of Lord Song's vanguard. Ari's celestial thunderstrike crackles over his blade, while Princess Hyojin rallies the people, eyes fierce with hope. General Beck's rallying roar fuels the storm clash, and destiny teeters on a razor-sharp edge of vengeance. The balance of power shifts. Night King, King Reborn, summons a god-forged blade, its edge blazing with celestial fire, striking down Lord Song's abyssal guard. Princess Hyojin watches, heart thunderstrike, as General Beck leads the vanguard into a storm clash. Blood-riven banners flutter. Ari's divine echo fuels the sword storm. The battlefield quakes. Each blow decides the kingdom's fate. Night King, King Reborn, unleashes a blazing god-forged blade, its edge blood-riven as he charges the throne's shattered hall. Lord Song, eyes cold as abyssal steel, summons a storm clash of dark magics, but General Beck erupts beside him, thunderstrike steel cracking the air. Princess Hyojin watches, heart a celestial fire, daring fate itself. Night King, King Reborn, brandishes his god-forged blade as celestial fire erupts, the air trembling under a thunderstrike. Ari's divine aura sears the battlefield, turning the ground into a blazing abyssal plain. Princess Hyojin rallies the vanguard, while General Beck leads a storm clash of steel. Lord Song's grin falters. Defeat lurks in every blood-riven strike. The balance of power shifts. Night King, blood-riven blade blazing with Ari's celestial fire, charges the vanguard of Lord Song's Abyssal Legion, thunderstrike echoing across the shattered courtyard. Princess Hyojin watches, heart pounding, as General Beck rallies the rebels. Every swing shatters stone. The throne teeters on a storm clash, destiny hanging by a god-forged thread as darkness recoils. Night King, King Reborn, summons a god-forged blade, its edge blazing with celestial fire, as he slams into Lord Song's abyssal steel. Sword storm erupts, thunderstrike after thunderstrike, each blow a blood-riven promise of vengeance. Ari's divine aura fuels the storm clash, while Princess Hyojin's resolve steals the vanguard, General Beck rallying the kingdom's last hope. The balance of power shifts. Night King, Godforge aura blazing, charges through the storm clash, his blood-riven blade igniting a celestial sword storm that rends the abyssal sky. Lord Song, Vanguard of Darkness, summons Thunderstrike steel, but the King Reborn's fury shatters his defenses. Every heartbeat fuels the kingdom's fate. If the blade falters, the throne crumbles into ruin. The balance of power shifts. Night King, Godforge aura blazing, erupts with a thunderstrike, his blood-riven blade slicing through the abyssal darkness surrounding Lord Song. Princess Hyojin's eyes flare, her hope igniting a celestial vanguard. General Beck charges, sword storm roaring, while Ari's divine whisper fuels the storm clash, sealing the usurper's fate. A resurrected king brandishes twin blades, his god-fueled honor turning into annihilation. He steps onto the battlefield, eyes fixed on the lone figure. The figure is the Knight of Honor, cloaked in shining armor. The crowd watches, breath held. The king's presence alone forces the undead troops to pause. Their leader, the knight, raises his own sword, signaling the duel's start. The clash between two legends looms. The king moves closer, his twin swords humming. He eyes the knight's stance, noting the tension in the opponent's muscles. He tells the knight it's safe to relax his guard, urging him to let down your neck. The knight hesitates, aware that any slack could cost him the duel.
Divine light pours from the goddess, forming a shimmering barrier around the combatants. The undead remnants dissolve into ash, their screams fading. The first knight's armor shines brighter, reflecting the seal's power. Hiyoi feels his own aura strengthen, his resolve solidifying. The dragon archduke watches, its eyes narrowing, as the battlefield clears. The lion-hearted king steps forward, his voice booming, demanding the final judgment. The king raises his sword, about to deliver the duel's verdict. The lion-hearted king lifts his blade high, the tip glinting with holy light. He declares that honor alone decides the winner. The first knight nods, accepting the judgment. Hiyoi steps back, his chest swelling with pride. Izar repeats the crosscut, striking twice in rapid succession. Each slash cuts deeper, forcing the opponent backward. The double blow shows his relentless offense and forces the enemy to abandon their formation. The duel's speed intensifies, leaving little time for defense. The opponent now scrambles to find a shield against the twin attacks. Izar quickly recovers, returning to his fighting stance after the double strike. He does so because his overwhelming skill lets him balance the weight of both swords effortlessly. This ability lets him stay in control despite the opponent's counterattacks. His composure keeps the duel's flow in his favor. A radiant light bursts from above, bathing the battlefield. The goddess of light and justice descends, her aura sweeping away the lingering undead. Necromancy flickers, then vanishes, as the divine flash reveals a crosscut of the Night King's blade striking true. This moment validates the duel's honor and grants the Night King a chance at redemption. Now the Night King must decide whether to claim the divine rest or press on toward the banquet hall. Li Si feels his blade cut cleaner, each swing tighter. He senses a faint echo of his former life surfacing as his technique improves. This matters because the skill boost ties directly to the memories that could unlock his true identity.
Li Si looks toward the goddess and speaks his prayer. He asks if a god watches to grant his soul rest. If no god answers, he begs the goddess to guide him to the garden's end. This matters because his plea could earn him a peaceful death or force him onward. If a god watches, grant my soul rest. If not, guide me to the garden's end. The promise reaches the heavens. Li Si's voice trembles as he wishes to meet a great knight someday. He names the banquet hall of the gods as the place to reunite. He hopes the promise will bring closure to his endless battles.
The blacksmith lifts a rusted blade. He scoffs, calling it garbage. He then mentions the market will pay a lot for it despite its condition. The blade glints faintly under the torchlight. Li Si watches, noting the faint runes. Hiyoi steps closer, curious about the claim. This shows the kingdom's desperate need for weapons and hints at hidden value in discarded relics.
This will sell for so much more. This is garbage.
The dragon archduke's roar echoes, promising a new threat. Li Si turns to the great sword on the pedestal. He feels a pulse from the ancient runes. He whispers a low, as recognition hits. Hiyoi watches, eyebrows raised, waiting for his reaction. The goddess lifts her hand, shouts, "Let there be light." And a searing beam erupts, vaporizing every undead corpse, shattering the cursed aura, and flooding the battlefield with blinding dawn. Li Si feels his promise to his fallen comrade ignite, trading despair for honor as the knight of honor bows, whispers reverence, and reclaims his destiny from the brink of dark sorcery. Survivors converge on the glowing pedestal, eyeing a humming greatsword while a rusted blade glints under torchlight. And Li Si's pulse from ancient runes hints at a power that could either save or doom them.
Never underestimate the guy with nothing to lose. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
The Night King storms back, demanding a god-level tribute as famine gnaws his realm. Leon exhales, muttering that 4 days have already bled since his Earth arrival. The fresh levy crushes his shoulders. Officials hover, eyes sharp for orders. Ha! Ugh! For days since I stepped onto Earth. The looming tithe presses harder than ever. Leon paces the marble hall, replaying the whirlwind of chaos that struck in a single heartbeat. Exhaustion claws at his throat, but he snaps, "Coin talk isn't my battlefield." The palace staff listen, uneasy, as his refusal threatens to alienate the treasury. Every stubborn word hints at a deeper clash over scarce resources. Leon warns the court to eat when possible, admitting he often skips meals himself. He promises a sandwich later, his focus wavering between hunger and governance. The exchange reveals his dwindling stamina, masking the kingdom's deepening hunger crisis. His half-hearted vow underscores the strain on supplies and morale alike. "I'll have a sandwich later." A servant worries about sharing the meal. A nervous courtier asks if Leon will share his meal, the question tinged with curiosity. Leon chuckles, teasing the courtier's eagerness, the banter briefly brightening the tense atmosphere. The light-hearted exchange hints at lingering hierarchy tensions and Leon's unpredictable generosity, setting the stage for future power plays over food. Park Jongchan explains that Du Yung Group ranks among the nation's top 3 chaebols, wielding influence that can reshape markets. Leon asks why a director would wait for a king. The director nods, confirming Leon's fame as the survivor and admitting they anticipated his arrival. This signals a political gamble. The chaebol hopes to harness Leon's sway over resources to secure its own future. What is Du Yung Group? The director promises a deal that could remake the kingdom's food supply. Hari steps forward, bowing with exaggerated reverence. "Nice to meet you, Leon Dragon," he declares, praising the king's lion-hearted spirit. Leon raises an eyebrow, dismissing Hari as a mere merchant and demanding a handshake.
A skeptical official demands proof that the rice works on humans, noting tests have only involved rats. The director replies that they will meet the rice field's owner to gather more data. Confirming the grain's effect on people could cement its role as a weapon or a medical miracle, shifting power balances dramatically. The upcoming meeting with the field owner promises answers about the rice's true power. A dying dog snaps back to life after devouring the rice. Villagers plagued by chronic inflammation and sinus infections eat the grain and feel instant relief. Every minor and major ailment in the village evaporates, though researchers admit they lack formal human trial data. A live streamer leaks the blessed rice demonstration. The clip goes viral, and the Hunter Association's director erupts, demanding the grain's capture as miracle cures explode across the kingdom. Villagers rejoice as a dying dog revives and chronic ailments vanish, while the director's grip on authority crumbles beneath the survivor's defiant retort and the rice's undeniable power. The survivor vows to weaponize cultural shock against the director, promising to expose his lies as both sides scramble for the limitless grain, leaving the kingdom's fate hanging on a volatile showdown. Welcome to the best Manhwa community on YouTube. Make it official, subscribe to Manhwa with Hari.
The Night King rises, his god blazing, holy grail blood soaking the battlefield. He notes that countless gods and followers crowd the world, yet divine power has vanished. He explains a god should grant blessings through faith, but now people fall ill and lands rot. He concludes that only a new faith can reactivate divine power. This sets the stage for a desperate search for believers. The hunt for a new worshipper begins. Kong Haejun declares that no order of fighters currently wields divine power. He points to the guardian of the Holy Grail, the Lionheart King, as a demigod. He says the Knights Templar serve as saints under that demigod, wielding divine power to crush evil.
The merchant sighs, annoyed that he must explain basic etiquette again. He tells the Night King to just open the package, claiming the effort of teaching manners is wasted. He gestures impatiently, demanding the Night King break the seal now. If you want more daily recaps, hit that subscribe button now. The sealed box trembles faintly, hinting a hidden power within. The merchant's assistant, Han Harinim, steps into the circle. He asks the Night King if he's ready to sign the assistant manager agreement. Haejun nods, still eyeing the displayed weapons. The moment shows the merchant's crew ready to bind the Knights Templar to their monopoly, raising the stakes of a commercial military alliance.
Assistant Manager Han Harinem?
Haejun mentions a sword he's chased for years. Kong Haejun lifts his gaze to a gleaming blade on the table. He declares it's the sword he's admired for 4 years, hinting at a personal history. The confession adds emotional weight to the weapon showdown and suggests the blade may hold hidden power crucial to the Night King's plans.
As Haejun lifts a sword, the merchant erupts. No way! So, he gesticulates wildly, trying to convince the Night King that the weapon is unrivaled. Kong Haejun remains stoic, eyes fixed on the blade's faint aura. The merchant's frantic reaction underscores his fear of losing the deal. This matters because the merchant's panic may force him to reveal hidden motives behind the weapons. No way! So, the flamboyant Du Yung merchant slams a rune-etched spear onto the stone slab, pulls back a velvet drape to reveal glowing divine blades, and forces Night King Kong Haejun into a 3-minute contract showdown. Kong Haejun feels his pride crushed as the merchant devalues the priceless swords, threatening to strip him of his authority and profit while he teeters between honor and exploitation. The merchant slams his ledger, demanding Kong Haejun's signature for exclusive rights, while the 3-minute deadline ticks down, leaving the Night King's fate and the Divine Blade's destiny hanging in peril. They counted him out, but we know better. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari to follow the journey.
The Night King returns with a god, and the blessed fields turn to ash. The courtyard buzzes with nervous whispers. A lowly merchant mutters, "Heck!" as a nervous murmur spreads. The king's guards stare, waiting for the next command. Tension spikes, showing that even a simple exclamation can shift the crowd's focus. The crowd prepares for a heated confrontation over the divine crops. The child soon calls the merchant a fool. A sharp-tongued child steps forward, pointing at the merchant. "Fool, you just confessed your sins," the child snarls. The merchant flinches, stammering, I really made a mistake." He looks ashamed, clutching a sack of grain. The same child steps forward again, eyes narrowed. "You lowly creature, only chasing profit and deceiving others." he shouts. Why do you want the divine products from a goddess you don't believe in? The merchant flinches, unable to answer. The accusation exposes his greed and hypocrisy, turning public opinion against him. The crowd murmurs, sensing that the blessed harvest should not be hoarded by the unfaithful. A court official then defends the merchant's influence. A court official steps up, bowing low before the king. He argues the merchant's rise is valuable to the kingdom's trade. The official dismisses the child's criticism, claiming the merchant's network outweighs any moral doubts. Adam looks puzzled by the cryptic request labeled and asks why anyone wants it. He then stammers that the task is difficult, revealing his uncertainty about the test's obscure criteria. This highlights how the gate test forces candidates to confront baffling obstacles, adding mental strain beyond physical combat. Each unclear demand tests their resolve. Then why did you want a difficult? Adam praises Kim Do-ha's hard work, asks about his prospects this year, and wonders if his rank will improve. He vows to try his best, underscoring the personal stakes each candidate faces in the gate test. The tension rises, and the mysterious measuring device lights up as the next candidate steps forward. You sure work hard, Hama. How is it looking this year? You think rank will be higher? Well, someone remarks that the foreign laborer's bearing resembles a royal's, drawing murmurs from the crowd. Immediately after, a gate official steps forward and calls out, "Hey, young man." The comment underscores the stark contrast between the laborer's perceived status and his lowly position in the test. It also signals that the officials are ready to engage him directly, raising the stakes of his participation. The next scene shows the laborer replying with a confused greeting. The foreign laborer attempts a greeting, muttering, "How are you?" The gate official snaps back, shouting, "Who do you think you're talking to? Peasant?" The harsh rebuke highlights the class divide and the laborer's outsider status. After the magical device spikes, a gate official rushes to the candidate. He asks, "What is it?" A second official steps forward, checks the contestant's condition, and asks, "Are you hurt or something?" The candidate looks confused, clutching his side. The questioning shows the test's immediate pressure on each participant. The crowd watches, waiting for the next reaction.
What is it? Are you hurt?
The next scene shows a candidate gasping for air. Candidate number staggers as the device pushes an invisible force down his chest. He gasps, "I can't breathe. Something is crushing me." The pressure feels like a wall of weight.
The gate official explains that only low-rank hunters or newly awakened individuals attempt the gate test. He then calls out, "Number, Leon Dragon. Please proceed to interview room 9. Leon Dragon bows and heads toward the marked door, aware that even top candidates must face bureaucratic scrutiny. This sets the stage for his upcoming interview.
Number Leon Dragon, please proceed to interview room 9.
Leon Dragon reaches the door marked and reacts. Leon Dragon stops in front of a sign displaying the number 9. He stares at it, then exclaims, "Ah!" His surprised shout hints at anxiety about what awaits inside. The moment underscores the tension before the interview and the unknown challenge awaiting him. Leon places his hand on the device. A faint blue light spreads across his palm. The device hums, and a needle on a gauge ticks upward. Nearby candidates watch, some whispering doubts. A senior judge notes the reading on a slate, comparing it to previous entries. Leon's breathing steadies as the machine evaluates his strength. The gauge climbs, hinting at Leon's hidden power. The peasant scoffs at Leon, calling him fool and apologizing sarcastically. Leon retorts, demanding to know how a peasant could judge a knight's honor, questioning the device's authority. Their exchange highlights the clash between lowborn critics and the elite test, exposing doubts about the machine's legitimacy. The tension raises the stakes for Leon's upcoming evaluation.
The announcer mentions a test at the gate, though his words stumble. A senior official stresses that real skill comes from consistent training and realistic scenarios, urging participants to observe rather than merely watch. Leon listens, interpreting the invitation as a chance to take part, not just spectate. This sets the stage for his active involvement in the gate test.
Real skills show through consistent training and realistic situations. I will go take a look. You mean participate?
Leon steps toward the gate, ready to prove his skill. The announcer asks if anyone feels dizzy, noting that some get motion sick when they pass through the soul gate. Hama breathes out, saying the air feels nice, then points out an elderly man over 60, assuming all the seniors have either drunk too much or hold low ranks. A brief pause follows, hinting at an unspoken tension. Hama's observation underscores the mix of ages and experience among the test takers, suggesting that even veterans aren't exempt from the gate's scrutiny. The foreign laborer appears, drawing more questions about his role. The narrator spots the foreign laborer from the lobby, noting his presence among the test participants despite his age. He concludes the laborer is likely a rookie, just like the other newcomers except for one old man who seems seasoned.
Leon faces the towering soul gate, his breath catching as the crowded arena erupts, and the judges, led by Kim Do-ha, declare the ultimate test that will decide every knight's honor tonight. He feels the weight of his reputation slipping, knowing a single misstep could shatter his standing, while the crowd's murmurs and a frightened participants' whispered doubt echo his own terror. The gate looms, its rumbling promise of victory or ruin hanging in the air, leaving Leon and the onlookers hanging on the brink of an unknown outcome that could rewrite their fates. Only the top 1% of readers make it this far. Prove you're one of them. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant Night King, raises his thunder blade, unleashing a blade storm that cleaves the demon horde. Luna's arcane sigils flare, her war chant echoing, forging souls into a celestial sunder that shatters the enemy's armor. Bloodied but unyielding, the mythic duo drives forward, the kingdom's fate teetering on each thunderclash. Kong Song-woo raises the God Sunder blade, Thunderblade igniting the night as a blade storm erupts. Luna chants a war chant, weaving celestial sunder runes that crack the dark sky. General Ryu Jinho rallies the bloodied ranks, while Eri summons a drake's roar, shattering Archbishop Valen's demonic legion. The fate of humanity teeters on a mythic thunderclash. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant, unleashes a blade storm, his mythic thunderblade cleaving through the horde as Luna chants war chant, summoning celestial sunder lightning. Ryu Jinho rallies the front, bloodied yet unyielding, while Ares' dragon roars, igniting a soul-forged blaze. Archbishop Valen watches, his dark grin trembling. If the God Sunder fails, humanity crumbles. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant Night King, unleashes a blade storm as his thunderblade cleaves the sky, each strike a thunderclash of God Sunder fury. Luna chants a war chant, her sorcery weaving celestial sunder around the enemy ranks. Ryu Jinho leads the bloodied front, while Ares' dragon roars, igniting a soul forge of mythic resolve against Archbishop Valen's cursed legion. Night King sears the battlefield, his thunderblade cleaving through swirling shadows as a blade storm erupts. Luna's arcane war chant shatters the demon's armor, celestial sunder blazing from her staff. Ryu Jinho charges, sword alight, while Eri commands a skyborn dragon, its roar a thunderclash. Archbishop Valen falters, his dark God Sunder waning, fate hanging by a breath. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant Night King, shatters the battlefield with a thunderblade blade storm, his sword singing a thunderclash that rends the sky. Luna channels a celestial sunder, weaving mythic sigils that amplify his God Sunder fury. General Ryu Jinho rallies the troops, their war chant echoing, while Eri summons a dragon's roar, sealing the enemy's fate in bloodied triumph. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant Night King, unleashes a blade storm, his thunderblade carving arcs of celestial sunder across the battlefield. Luna's war chant amplifies the Soul Forge, feeding his thrust as General Ryu Jin-ho rallies the ranks. Eri's dragon roars, spewing fire that merges with the thunderclash, turning enemy steel bloodied and shattered. The balance of power shifts. Night King brandishes his thunderblade, summoning a blade storm that rends the sky, while Luna's celestial sunder war chant shatters enemy sigils. Ryu Jin-ho charges, bloodied yet unyielding, his spear crackling with God Sunder fury. Eri commands her dragon, its roar echoing as a soul forge blaze, confronting Archbishop Valen's looming darkness. The battlefield trembles beneath mythic destiny. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant Night King, unleashes a blade storm, his thunderblade cleaving through the demon horde as Luna's arcane sigils echo a war chant, forging souls into steel. Ryu Jin-ho charges, bloodied yet unyielding, while Eri commands a dragon's roar, shattering the enemy's ranks. Archbishop Valen watches, his dark covenant trembling on the brink of celestial sunder. The balance of power shifts. Night King Song-woo unsheathes his thunderblade, the divine revenant aura flaring as a blade storm erupts, cleaving the demon horde. Luna's sorcery crackles, forging a soul-forged shield while Eri summons a snarling drake, its roar a thunderclash that shatters the enemy line. Archbishop Valen watches, his fate hanging on the God-sundered clash. Night King's thunderblade erupts, slicing demon flesh as a blade storm of radiant steel engulfs the battlefield. Luna shouts a war chant, her sorcery forging thunderclash barriers that crack the sky, while General Ryu Jin-ho rallies the ranks, his sword striking celestial sunder arcs. Eri commands a roaring drake, its roar echoing the divine revenant's soul-forged resolve, defying Archbishop Valen's cursed summons. Kong Song-woo, the divine revenant Night King, unsheathes his thunderblade, unleashing a blade storm that rends the battlefield. Luna's arcane war chant crackles, forging a soul forge of celestial sunder that shatters demonic ranks. Ryu Jin-ho leads the bloodied vanguard, while Eri commands a roaring dragon to rain fire. Archbishop Valen watches, his dark schemes trembling on the brink of ruin. Night King roars, his thunderblade cleaving a legion of demonic horde as a blade storm erupts, each strike a divine revenant echo of forgotten wars. Luna's war chant summons celestial sunder, shattering dark armor, while Ryu Jin-ho rallies bloodied soldiers beneath the mythic banner. Eri's dragon snarls, unleashing a soul-forged blaze, sealing humanity's fragile hope against the abyss. Night King Song-woo erupts onto the battlefield, his thunderblade igniting a blade storm that rends the sky. Luna's arcane war chant reverberates, forging a divine revenant aura around his sword as celestial sunder flashes. General Ryu Jin-ho rallies the ranks, while Eri commands her drake to unleash a thunderclash, bloodied foes trembling before the mythic God Sunder surge. Night King Song-woo channels the Soul Forge, unleashing a blade storm that tears the sky as Luna's celestial sunder sigil flares. Ryu Jin-ho leads the vanguard in a thunderclash, and Eri summons a WYRM to shatter the enemy ranks. Archbishop Valen's dark priests falter, bloodied but unbroken, as the mythic war chant reverberates, sealing the God-blessed destiny. Night King roars, thunderblade arcing across the horizon, a blade storm of divine revenant steel carving a path through the demon horde. Luna's mythic incantation fuels a celestial sunder, while General Ryu Jin-ho leads the bloodied ranks, shields trembling under the onslaught. Eri summons her dragon, its roar echoing a soul-forged promise, Failure means the kingdom's ashes. Night King Kong Songwoo unleashes a thunder blade, its celestial thunder rippling across the battlefield, while Luna's war chant summons a blade storm of arcane shards. General Ryu Jinho shatters enemy lines, his blade echoing a thunderclash, and Eri rides her Drake, its roar a soul forge of fury. Archbishop Valen's dark sigil flickers, but the divine revenant's charge threatens to annihilate his cursed ambition. The balance of power shifts. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant Night King, unleashes a thunderblade, cutting through the demon horde as a blade storm erupts. Luna's arcane sigils flare, war chant echoing, while General Ryu Jinho rallies the bloodied troops. Eri summons a draconic roar, shattering shadows with celestial thunder. Archbishop Valen watches, his grasp on God-thunder power trembling. The balance of power shifts. Kong Songwoo unleashes a thunderblade, his divine revenant aura igniting the battlefield as Luna weaves the celestial thunder spell, the sky cracking with thunderclash. General Ryu Jinho leads the front, his troops chanting war chant, steel swirling in a blade storm. Eri commands her dragon, fire colliding with God-thunder energy. Bloodied foes crumble before the mythic onslaught. Night King shatters the horizon, his thunderblade igniting a blade storm that rends the demonic legion. Luna chants a war chant, celestial thunder ripples through the sky, amplifying his divine revenant fury. Ryu Jinho leads the bloodied ranks forward, while Eri summons a dragon's roar, tearing the enemy's shield. Archbishop Valen watches, his dark resolve cracking under God-thunder's relentless roar. Night King Kong Songwoo erupts onto the battlefield, his thunderblade cleaving through a horde of demonic marauders. Luna's war chant shatters the sky, summoning a blade storm that rips the ground as celestial thunder ignites. General Ryu Jinho rallies the troops, while bloodied Eri commands her dragon to unleash a soulforge roar, turning the tide toward victory. Night King Songwoo, divine revenant, summons a thunderblade, slicing through the demonic horde as a blade storm erupts. Luna's celestial thunder spell crackles, driving the shadows back while General Ryu Jinho shouts a war chant, rallying the bloodied ranks. Above, Eri's dragon roars, its fury a mythic thunderclash, as Archbishop Valen's dark sigil flickers, trembling on the brink of annihilation. Night King sears the battlefield with a thunderblade, a blade storm of divine revenant steel ripping through demon ranks. Luna shouts a war chant, her spells igniting a celestial thunder that shatters the sky. Ryu Jinho rallies the bloodied troops, while Eri, atop her WRM, unleashes a thunderclash that drives the foe back. Archbishop Valen watches, his scheme teetering on the brink of ruin. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant Night King, raises his thunderblade, its arc slicing through the blackened sky as a blade storm erupts. Luna's war chant shatters the heavens, invoking a celestial thunder that cracks the enemy's shield. Ryu Jinho charges, bloodied but unyielding, while Eri's dragon roars, the mythic thunderclash echoing Valen's desperate prayers. Night King Songwoo raises his thunderblade, the sky cracking as a blade storm erupts, each strike a divine revenant echo of ancient wars. Luna weaves a war chant, celestial thunder rippling through enemy ranks, while General Ryu Jinho charges, bloodied banners flaring. Eri commands her dragon, a mythic roar colliding with the Archbishop's dark sigils, thunderclash sealing the fate of humanity. Night King roars, his thunderblade cleaving the abyss as a blade storm of divine, revenant light erupts, shattering the demon horde. Luna's arcane war chant ignites the sky, celestial thunder rippling through enemy ranks. Ryu Jinho rallies bloodied soldiers, while Eri's dragon spews infernal fire, sealing the God-thundered breach.
Failure would doom the nascent kingdom. Night King Songwoo summons a thunderblade, its celestial sunder edge birthing a blade storm that shreds the Dark Legion. Luna's war chant crackles, weaving thunderclash sigils that empower Ryu Jinho's spear, while Eri rides the skyborn dragon, unleashing a god-sunder roar. The kingdom teeters on the brink. Failure means the demonic tide devours all. Night King Kong Songwoo roars, thrusting his thunder blade into the cursed altar, spawning a blade storm that rends the sky. Luna chants a war chant, summoning celestial sunder to shatter Archbishop Valen's dark sigils. Ryu Jinho leads the front, steel flashing, while Ares' dragon erupts, unleashing a thunderclash that fuels the soul forge of humanity's hope. Night King Kong Songwoo unleashes a thunderblade bladestorm, his divine revenant armor blazing as Luna's celestial sunder war chant shatters the sky. General Ryu Jinho rallies the front, sword singing with soul-forged fury, while Eri summons her dragon, thunderclash echoing across the battlefield. Archbishop Valen's dark sigils crumble, bloodied destiny teeters on the edge of mythic conquest. The balance of power shifts. Night King Songwoo ignites a thunderblade, his soul-forged bladestorm tearing through the Dark Legion as Luna's arcane sigils flare, summoning a celestial sunder that shatters enemy shields. General Ryu Jinho rallies the ranks, shouting a war chant, while Eri commands a dragon's roar, raining fire upon Archbishop Valen's holy crusade. The battlefield trembles under divine revenant fury, with each thunderclash echoing across the shattered citadel. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant, raises his thunderblade, thunderclash echoing across the battlefield. Luna weaves a celestial sunder sigil, fueling the blade storm that rends the sky. Ryu Jinho leads the bloodied ranks, their war chant shaking the earth, while Eri commands a dragon, its roar a mythic roar that shreds Archbishop Valen's Dark Legion. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant, unleashes a blade storm, his thunderblade cleaving through the cursed legion. Luna's arcane sigils flare, forging a celestial sunder that shatters enemy shields. Ryu Jinho rallies the troops, chanting war chant as bloodied ground trembles. The demonic tide reels, fearing the god-sunder that promises humanity's salvation. The balance of power shifts. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant Night King, unleashes a thunderblade bladestorm, his sword singing thunderclash against the demon horde. Luna's arcane sigils flare, weaving a soul-forged war chant that shatters the enemy's ranks. General Ryu Jinho leads the bloodied front, while Ares' dragon roars, celestial sunder lighting the sky. Victory teeters on a razor-thin edge. The balance of power shifts. Night King shatters the sky with a thunderblade, a blade storm of divine revenant steel roaring across the battlefield. Luna weaves a celestial sunder war chant. Ares' dragon erupts, spewing fire that mingles with the thunderclash. General Ryu Jinho rallies the bloodied ranks, while Archbishop Valen watches, his dark ambitions trembling on the brink of ruin. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant, unleashes a thunderblade, its edge carving a blade storm across the enemy ranks while Luna's arcane sigils amplify the war chant. General Ryu Jinho leads the front line, his shield bloodied yet unyielding, as Eri summons a drake to roar against Archbishop Valen's cursed priests, whose dark sigils shatter under celestial sunder. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of God-sunder. Night King Kong Songwoo summons a thunderblade, its edge igniting a blade storm that shreds the battlefield. Luna's arcane sigils flare, forging a soul forge that amplifies his divine revenant might. General Ryu Jinho charges, his war chant echoing as celestial thunderbolts cascade, while Eri commands a dragon's roar, crushing Archbishop Valen's corrupt legion beneath a thunderclash. The balance of power shifts.
Night King Songwoo ignites his God Sunder blade, unleashing a thunderclash bladestorm that rends the sky. Luna's arcane sigils surge, weaving a soul-forged barrier as demonic hordes surge forward. General Ryu Jinho leads the vanguard, his war chant echoing across the battlefield. While Eri commands a roaring dragon, its fire a celestial sunder roar. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant Night King, unleashes a thunderblade bladestorm, each strike echoing a war chant that shatters the sky. Luna chants, weaving celestial sunder sigils that bind the enemy's demonic horde. Ryu Jinho leads the bloodied ranks, while Eri summons a dragon's roar, thunderclash rippling through the battlefield. Archbishop Valen watches, his plans teetering on the brink of ruin. The balance of power shifts. Night King unleashes a bladestorm, his thunderblade slicing through demonic horde, Luna chanting war chant, summoning celestial sunder. Ryu Jinho leads the vanguard. Eri rides a dragon, fire roaring, Archbishop Valen's dark sigils crack under Godsunder. Bloodied ground trembles as the divine revenant sears destiny. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant Night King, summons a bladestorm that rends the sky, his thunderblade crackling as Luna weaves celestial sunder sigils. General Ryu Jinho leads the front, rallying troops with a war chant, while Eri commands a roaring drake to scorch the demon ranks. Archbishop Valen's dark rites falter. Bloodied hopes hinge on Songwoo's mythic thunderclash. Night King Kong Songwoo erupts into a bladestorm, his thunderblade cleaving demonic hordes as Luna's celestial sunder spell erupts, forging a soul forge of light. General Ryu Jinho shouts a war chant, rallying the broken legion, while Eri summons her dragon, its roar a mythic thunderclash. Archbishop Valen's cursed sigil flickers, threatening to God sunder the very ground beneath them. Night King Kong Songwoo unleashes a thunderblade, bladestorm swirling as his divine revenant aura ignites the battlefield. Luna channels a celestial sunder, war chant echoing, while General Ryu Jinho rallies the troops beneath the soul forge of his resolve. Eri's dragon roars, bloodied sky trembling. If the God Sunder fails, humanity falls. The balance of power shifts. Night King's thunderblade ignites, unleashing a bladestorm that shreds the demonic horde. Luna's arcane war chant summons a celestial sunder, ripping the sky as Ares' dragon roars, spitting flame over the bloodied battlefield. General Ryu Jinho rallies the troops, his spear gleaming with Godsunder resolve, while Archbishop Valen claws at the void, desperate to seize the divine revenant power. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant, unsheathes his thunderblade, unleashing a bladestorm that rends the sky, while Luna chants a war chant, weaving celestial sunder to shatter demon armor. Ryu Jinho rallies the bloodied ranks, and Ares summons a draconic roar, thunderclash echoing as Archbishop Valen's dark sigils crumble. Night King Kong Songwoo unleashes a thunderblade bladestorm, his divine revenant aura blazing as Luna's celestial sunder sigils crackle, sealing the demonic horde. General Ryu Jinho rallies the front, war chant echoing, while Ares' dragon roars, its soul-forged fire merging with the night's thunderclash. Victory teeters on the edge of Godsunder ruin. The balance of power shifts. Night King Kong Songwoo erupts, mythic thunderblade blazing, as a bladestorm of divine, revenant steel rips through the demon horde. Luna shouts a war chant, summoning celestial sunder fire that crackles with soul-forged fury. General Ryu Jinho rallies bloodied soldiers while Ares' dragon roars, tearing sky, and Archbishop Valen watches, his dark ambitions trembling. Night King's thunderblade erupts, slicing through the cursed legion as a bladestorm of divine revenant light. Luna's war chant shatters the sky, celestial sunder rippling across the battlefield.
while Ryu Jinho's spear drives forward, bloodied yet unyielding. Eri summons a dragon's roar, thunderclash striking Archbishop Valen's dark altar. Humanity's fate teeters on the edge of mythic salvation. Night King sears the battlefield, his thunderblade cleaving a legion of demonic husks as a blade storm erupts, each strike a mythic thunderclash that shatters the enemy's resolve. Luna chants a war chant, her sorcery weaving a soul-forge aura around Songwoo, while Ryu Jinho leads the vanguard, bloodied yet unyielding. Night King roars a war chant, thrusting his thunderblade into the demon horde. A blade storm erupts, divine revenant light shattering the darkness. Luna weaves a celestial sunder spell, sealing the infernal breach as Ryu Jinho leads the bloodied ranks forward. Ares' dragon roars, unleashing a soul-forge blaze, while Archbishop Valen's cursed sigils crumble, sealing humanity's desperate fate. Night King Songwoo erupts, thunderblade singing, as Luna's arcane sigils flare, shattering the Archbishop's holy shield. Ryu Jinho rallies the front line, war chant echoing, while Ares summons a dragon's roar, its scales igniting the sky. Bloodied yet unyielding, the divine revenant thrusts forward, a blade storm of mythic fury, aiming to god sunder the corrupted altar. Kong Songwoo unleashes a blade storm, his thunderblade cleaving through the demon horde as Luna's war chant summons a celestial sunder, lighting the sky. General Ryu Jinho rallies the bloodied ranks, his sword igniting a soul forge of resolve. Eri, astride her drake, roars, delivering a mythic thunderclash that shatters the enemy's shield. Archbishop Valen watches, his dark sigils trembling, fearing the divine revenant's god sunder. Night King storms forward, thunderblade singing, unleashing a blade storm that shatters enemy ranks. Luna's arcane war chant ignites the sky. Ryu Jinho's cavalry charges. Eri summons her dragon, flames colliding with demonic hordes. Archbishop Valen's dark sigils flare. Stakes. Humanity's last stand, bloodied ground trembling beneath celestial sunder, divine revenant fury. The Night King unsheathes his thunder blade, a blade storm of divine revenant light tearing through the demon horde as Luna's celestial sunder chant shatters the sky. Ryu Jinho leads the vanguard, war chant roaring, while Ares summons a dragon's roar, its soul-forged fire searing Archbishop Valen's corrupted legion into oblivion. The battlefield erupts, thunderclash echoing across realms, destiny hanging on a single strike. Night King Kong Songwoo summons a thunderblade, his soul-forged fury ripping through the enemy ranks as Luna's celestial sunder spell shatters the dark sky. General Ryu Jinho leads the war chant, steel flashing in a blade storm, while Eri commands a dragon's roar to crush the Archbishop's cursed legion. Kong Songwoo unleashes a thunderblade, blade storm swirling, as divine revenant power erupts, shattering the dark altar. Luna chants a war chant, her sorcery feeding the soul forge, while Archbishop Valen summons a cursed vortex. The celestial sunder crackles, bloodied ground trembling, stakes soaring. Humanity's fate teeters on the edge of god sunder. Night King Songwoo erupts into a blade storm, his thunderblade cleaving the abyss as divine revenant fury ignites the battlefield. Luna's war chant shatters the sky, celestial sunder echoing through the ranks, while Eri summons a dragon's roar to crush the demonic tide. Bloodied but unyielding, they forge a mythic stand. Failure would doom humanity to eternal night. Kong Songwoo, the divine revenant, raises his thunder blade, unleashing a blade storm that rends the sky as Luna's war chant shatters the heavens. General Ryu Jinho leads the front line, his spear humming with celestial sunder, while Ares' dragon roars, breathing infernal fire. Archbishop Valen, bloodied, grabs the shattered relic, his desperate godsunder echoing the kingdom's fate. The balance of power shifts. Night King roars, divine revenant aura surging, brandishing the godsunder thunderblade as a blade storm erupts, cleaving the demonic horde. Luna's mythic war chant shatters the sky, her spell thunderclashing into celestial sunder, while Ryu Jinho charges, bloodied but unyielding. Aerie summons her dragon, its roar forging a soul-forged barrier, sealing Archbishop Valen's dark ambition.
The abyss is staring back. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
Blade Blitz erupts as the resurrected Night King, storm-crowned and blood-forged, clashes with the towering god of ruin, their royal rune swords sparking cataclysmic fire. The vanguard of darkness threatens to sundering the kingdom, and the juggernaut of destiny hangs on a single strike. If the Night King fails, the divine reign shatters forever. The Night King lunges, Blade Blitz igniting, his sword carving a storm-crowned arc that rends the heavens. The resurrected god recoils, divine reign trembling, as royal rune sigils flare. Bloodforged fury collides with celestial might, a juggernaut clash that threatens to sundering worlds, each heartbeat a cataclysmic echo of destiny. The Night King, storm-crowned, lunges forward, his Blade Blitz cleaving the heavens as divine rain crackles. Blade Blitz erupts as the Night King, storm-crowned, charges the Godshatter altar, his sword igniting a blood-forged blaze. The divine rain throne trembles, royal rune sigils cracking under the juggernaut onslaught. Every heartbeat threatens cataclysmic sundering, vanguard spirits screaming, as the realm hangs on the edge of annihilation. Night King erupts forward, Blade Blitz igniting the battlefield as storm-crowned heavens crack. He slams the royal rune gauntlet into the Godshatter altar, blood-forged fury surging, while the vanguard of darkness recoils. Every strike sunders the cataclysmic tide, a juggernaut of divine reign that threatens to erase the realm's very soul. Blade Blitz erupts as the Night King, storm-crowned and juggernaut, clashes with the resurrected deity. Blade Blitz erupts as Night King Eren brandishes the storm-crowned sword, its royal rune humming against the Godshatter aura of the resurrected deity. Bloodforged fury meets divine reign might. The kingdom trembles, every heartbeat a cataclysmic drum. If Eren falters, the vanguard of his realm crumbles, sundering hope beneath an unstoppable juggernaut. Night King Arion unleashes a Blade Blitz, his storm-crowned sword cleaving the heavens as the Godshatter aura erupts, the divine reign trembling. Across the shattered altar, the vanguard of the cursed legion erupts, Bloodforged cries echo, and the royal rune sigil flares, promising cataclysmic ruin unless Arion's juggernaut strike sunders the darkness. Blade Blitz erupts as the Night King, storm-crowned and wielding the royal rune blade, clashes with the Godshatter deity. Night King Eric unleashes a Blade Blitz, his sword igniting royal rune sigils as the Godshatter echo erupts. Beside him, the storm-crowned deity Etheric roars, fury cascading like a cataclysmic tempest. Every heartbeat fuels a blood-forged duel, vanguard spirits clashing, sundering the heavens. Failure means the kingdom's crown crumbles into ash. Storm-crowned, the Night King erupts into a Blade Blitz, his royal rune blade screaming through the heavens as divine rain fury collides with the Godshatter altar. Each strike blood forges a cataclysmic shockwave, the deity's celestial juggernaut countering with a vanguard of thunderous might. The kingdom trembles. Sundering fate hangs on this relentless, storm-laden clash. Blade Blitz erupts as the storm-crowned Night King lunges, his blood-forged sword igniting royal rune sigils. Night King Eren unleashes a Blade Blitz, his sword humming with royal rune fire, cutting through the God-shatter aura that crowns the sky. Every strike is a storm-crowned vanguard, blood-forged fury tearing the divine reign's foundations. The juggernaut of his resolve meets cataclysmic resistance, each clash sundering hope and empire alike. The Night King unleashes a blade blitz, his sword humming with royal rune fire as the resurrected god roars, shattering heavens. Blood-forged fury meets storm-crowned might, each strike a cataclysmic echo. Victory teeters on the edge of God-shatter, the vanguard of destiny clashing, sundering hope and dread in a relentless juggernaut surge. Blade blitz erupts as the resurrected Night King, Arion, clashes with the towering god spirit, Velenth. Their swords shatter the sky, a storm-crowned vortex of blood-forged fury ripping the battlefield. Each strike threatens to sunder the royal rune that binds the kingdom's fate, and the vanguard of armies watches, hearts pounding, as the God-shatter echo reverberates toward cataclysmic ruin. Blade blitz erupts as the Night King, storm-crowned and wielding the God-shatter sword, charges the celestial altar. Royal rune sigils flare, blood-forged fury igniting the heavens, while the divine rain deity summons cataclysmic thunder. Every heartbeat threatens sundering the kingdom, and the vanguard of hope trembles under the juggernaut's wrath. Destiny hangs on a single, shattering strike. The balance of power shifts. Blade blitz fury erupts as Gong Wei, storm-crowned Night King, drives his blood-forged sword into the celestial altar, sundering the divine rain covenant. The God-shatter echo reverberates, threatening to raise the kingdom's royal rune sanctum. With each thunderous strike, the vanguard of darkness recoils, and the kingdom teeters on cataclysmic ruin. The Night King, storm-crowned and blood-forged, launches a blade blitz that rends the battlefield, his royal rune blade clashing against the God-shatter aura of the fallen deity. Every strike threatens to sundering the realm's divine reign, while enemy legions surge like a cataclysmic juggernaut. Victory hangs on a single vanguard thrust, the kingdom's fate trembling in the clash. Blade blitz erupts as the Night King, storm-crowned and juggernaut-driven, clashes with the resurrected deity. Royal runes flare, blood-forged sparks ignite, and God-shatter thunder rattles the battlefield. Every strike threatens to sundering worlds. The vanguard of his divine reign teeters on the brink of cataclysmic ruin, while destiny's crown hangs by a razor-thin thread. The balance of power shifts. Night King erupts, blade blitz fury igniting the shattered citadel as the God-shatter echo reverberates. With the royal rune blazing, his storm-crowned resolve clashes against the divine reign of the crimson deity, each strike a cataclysmic vanguard. Blood-forged destiny teeters on the brink, and the sundering of realms trembles beneath their juggernaut clash. Night King Ryusong erupts blade blitz, his storm-crowned sword slashing through the heavens as the God-shatter aura detonates. Royal runes flare, blood-forged fury collides with celestial might, each strike sundering the sky. Victory teeters on a razor's edge. The vanguard of his divine reign must shatter the cataclysmic deity or watch his kingdom crumble. Blade blitz erupts as the Night King, storm-crowned, clashes with the divine rain god, their swords sundering the heavens. Blood-forged fury sears the battlefield. Each strike threatens the kingdom's crown, shattering royal rune sanctuaries. The vanguard of darkness surges, but the Night King's juggernaut resolve stands unbroken, a cataclysmic storm poised to God-shatter destiny. The balance of power shifts. Thunderous steel erupts as Night King Aurelius unleashes a blade blitz, his storm-crowned sword cleaving the God-shatter altar. The divine rain trembles, royal rune sigils flicker, and the vanguard of celestial guardians falters. Blood-forged fury meets cataclysmic might, each strike sundering fate itself. Aurelius fights to seize the throne before darkness devours all.
Night King's blade blitz erupts, sundering the God-shatter sigil as divine rain trembles. Each strike a blood forge of destiny, storm-crowned fury clashing against celestial armor. The royal rune flickers, a vanguard of hope against cataclysmic night. If the juggernaut falters, the kingdom crumbles, no mercy, only relentless conquest. Night King Arden unleashes a blade blitz, his sword igniting royal rune sigils as the storm-crowned god erupts in fury.
New skills, new stats, new dominance. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
The Night King charges forward, blade storm blazing, his iron vanguard shattering the cursed altar as a god-shatter thunderclash erupts, blood-forged light searing the darkness. Every heartbeat drums a war chant, divine retribution surging through his soul forge, demanding the cataclysmic fall of the abyssal tyrant. No mercy, only relentless conquest. The Night King slams his blood-forged blade into the shattered earth, summoning a thunderclash of divine retribution that rends the sky. Around him, the Iron Vanguard erupts, a blade storm of souls, while the resurrected god roars, shattering enemy fortresses in a cataclysmic war chant. Every heartbeat fuels relentless god shatter, destiny hanging on his steel-kissed promise. The Night King unleashes a blade storm, his blood-forged sword cleaving through the oncoming horde as the resurrected deity roars, thunderclash echoing across the battlefield. Every strike summons divine retribution, Iron Vanguard crushing foes, while the soul forge of his resolve ignites a cataclysmic war chant. Victory or annihilation hinges on his relentless god-shatter fury. The kingdom's destiny trembles beneath his storm, and the heavens quake at his defiant roar. Night King roars, his Iron Vanguard blade storm colliding with the God-shatter altar, while the god unleashes thunderclash divine retribution. Blood-forged steel meets soul-forged light, a cataclysmic war chant echoing across the shattered citadel. Every strike threatens the kingdom's ruin, yet relentless fury fuels the final reckoning. The Night King unsheathes his blood-forged blade storm, thunderclash echoing as divine retribution surges from the resurrected god. Iron Vanguard legions surge forward, souls forge ablaze, each strike a cataclysmic war chant. Failure would shatter the world, but his relentless roar rends the heavens, God-shatter promise blazing across the battlefield. Bladestorm erupts as Night King Aaron summons God-shatter fury, his Iron Vanguard sword cleaving the heavens. Divine retribution roars, thunderclash echoing across the battlefield, each strike a blood-forged promise to crush the encroaching horde. The soul forge of his resolve fuels a cataclysmic war chant. Failure would doom the realm to eternal night. The Night King, armor ablaze, summons the God-shatter Bladestorm, thunderclash echoing across the shattered citadel. Divine retribution reigns as his blood-forged sword carves a path, igniting the Iron Vanguard of his legion. Every heartbeat fuels the cataclysmic war chant. If his soul forge falters, the realm will drown in endless night. The Night King ignites a Bladestorm, each steel flash a thunderclash against the God-shatter legion, blood-forged fury carving destiny. His Iron Vanguard surges, soul forge fire blazing, while the heavens tremble with cataclysmic war chant. Every heartbeat drives divine retribution. Failure would drown the realm in eternal darkness. Relentless, he charges, destiny's edge poised. Night King brandishes his blood-forged Bladestorm, the Iron Vanguard of his soul forge roaring as divine retribution erupts. Thunderclash shatters the heavens, each strike a God-shatter echo, while the cataclysmic war chant fuels his relentless surge. Victory hangs on the edge of his blade, destiny trembling beneath his fury. Night King Elric unleashes a Bladestorm, his blood-forged sword clashing in thunderclash against the Celestial Legion.
Divine retribution erupts as the God-shatter sigil ignites, forging souls in a soul forge of cataclysmic light. Every strike fuels the Iron Vanguard, a relentless war chant echoing across shattered realms, daring fate itself to crumble. The Night King summons a blade storm, his Iron Vanguard clashing against the God-shatter aura of the returning deity, thunderclash echoing across the cataclysmic battlefield. The Night King unsheathes his blood-forged blade, summoning a blade storm that rips the sky, while the resurrected god roars, unleashing divine retribution. Thunderclash erupts as Iron Vanguard warriors surge, their souls forge burning. The cataclysmic war chant shakes the realm. Every strike aims to God-shatter the heavens, relentless destiny hanging on a single, blazing heartbeat. Bladestorm erupts as Night King Eren summons the divine retribution of Zephyrus, thunderclash echoing across the shattered citadel. Blood-forged steel meets God-shatter will, each strike a soul forge of cataclysmic fury. The Iron Vanguard of his legion roars, relentless war chant demanding victory, lest darkness devour the realm with blazing defiance forever. Thunderclash erupts as the Night King raises his blood-forged bladestorm, the Iron Vanguard of his legion surging forward. Night King Riven erupts a bladestorm, his blood-forged blade humming with divine retribution as the summoned god roars thunderclash across the battlefield. Iron Vanguard foes shatter under a cataclysmic war chant, each strike a soul forge of fury. The realm teeters on the brink. Only his relentless God-shatter can seal destiny. Night King Arion summons the God-shatter bladestorm, his Iron Vanguard charging as thunderclash echoes across the battlefield. Divine retribution ignites, blood-forged steel slicing the abyss. Every soul-forged chant fuels his relentless surge, cataclysmic light ablaze, forcing foes to kneel. Victory hinges on his god-born wrath, the realm trembling beneath his war chant. The Night King, blood-forged bladestorm blazing, rallies the Iron Vanguard as divine retribution erupts, thunderclash shattering the heavens. Night King roars, unleashing a bladestorm that rends the sky, each slash a thunderclash of divine retribution. Beside him, the resurrected god shatters reality, its God-shatter roar echoing through the soul forge of battle. Blood-forged warriors rally under the Iron Vanguard, war chant rising as cataclysmic fate teeters on the edge of oblivion. Bladestorm erupts as the Night King, armor gleaming, summons the god of dawn. Their soul's forge ignites a thunderclash that shatters the heavens. Blood-forged vows echo, divine retribution surges, and the Iron Vanguard of enemy legions crumble beneath the cataclysmic war chant, the kingdom's fate hanging on a single, relentless strike. Night King Eren raises the God-shatter blade, thunderclash echoing as divine retribution sears the abyss. Blood-forged warriors of the Iron Vanguard surge forward, their war chant a cataclysmic roar. The god of dawn, Seraph, summons a soul-forge vortex, threatening to rend reality. Relentless, Eren's bladestorm carves destiny, stakes blazing across the shattered heavens.
The choice is yours, but the right answer is subscribing to Manwa with Harry.
Why erupts, blaze-forged blade screaming, tearing through the demon tide as tyrant crackle shatters the cursed altar. Beside him, Princess Arya channels storm-seared light, while General Ryu shouts Vanguard scream, rallying troops. Every strike ignites a god-shattered echo, blood-riven ground trembling beneath the celestial rupture of his reborn fury. Wise blaze-forged blade erupts, slicing through the demon-riddled ranks as iron clash reverberates across shattered citadels. Princess Arya shouts, rallying the vanguard scream of knights, while General Ryu's storm-seared shield deflects tyrant crackle fire. Every heartbeat fuels a god-shattered resolve,
The kingdom's rebirth teeters on the edge of celestial rupture. Kong Y erupts, blaze-forged sword blazing, its strike igniting a god-shattered roar as Varko's demonic legion falters. Kong Y charges forward, his blaze-forged sword igniting the battlefield as storm-seared winds howl. Lord Varko snarls, tyrant crackle echoing from his cursed gauntlet, but Y's iron clash shatters the demon-tainted armor, sending blood-riven shards spiraling. Princess Arya summons Celestial Rupture Light, while General Ryu rallies the Vanguard Scream, each heartbeat a blade crush toward a King Reborn destiny. Kong Y, King Reborn, charges forward as his sword ignites, a blaze-forged fury that rends the air. Blood-riven demons scatter beneath the iron clash, while Lord Varko's tyrant crackle shatters, echoing a celestial rupture. Beside him, Princess Arya summons storm-seared magic, and Myra's arrows pierce the darkness, each strike a vanguard scream of redemption. Kong Y unleashes a blaze-forged strike, iron clash reverberating as Varko's demon legion shatters. Y erupts from the shattered citadel, blade crush humming as he slashes through a tide of blood-riven demons. Storm-seared arrows rain down, but his blaze-forged sword cleaves the darkness, igniting a celestial rupture that shatters the tyrant crackle of Lord Varko's cursed sigil. The kingdom's fate teeters on his iron clash, King Reborn forging hope from ruin. Kong Y, King Reborn, channels blaze-forged fury, his blade crush echoing across the battlefield as demonic hordes surge. Princess Arya rallies the Vanguard Scream, her resolve storm-seared, while Lord Varko's tyrant crackle threatens to shatter the kingdom. Every god-shattered strike fuels a blood-riven hope. If they fall, Laminia's light dies. Kong Y, King Reborn, erupts forward, blaze-forged blades slashing through tyrant crackle darkness. Kong Y, King Reborn, slams his blaze-forged blade into the demon's ribcage, a storm-seared roar echoing, while Princess Arya summons Celestial Rupture Light, shattering the tyrant crackle shields. Blood-riven ground trembles as iron clash reverberates, and General Ryu charges, Vanguard Scream cutting through darkness. The kingdom's fate hangs on each blade crush, a god-shattered promise to rise. King Reborn Kong Y lunges, blaze-forged sword singing through storm-seared night, iron clash echoing as Varko's tyrant crackle shield shatters. Blood-riven ground trembles beneath General Ryu's rallying cry, while Myra's arrows pierce the darkness, each bolt a vanguard scream. Elder Selene's celestial rupture sigil flares, igniting hope, and the kingdom's fate teeters on a blade crush. Y lunges forward, his blaze-forged blade igniting the storm-seared battlefield, each iron clash reverberating like celestial rupture. Kong Y lunges, blaze-forged blade igniting, iron clash echoing as demon hordes crumble. Beside him, Mira looses a storm-seared arrow, shattering the tyrant crackle that fuels Lord Varko's dark altar. Princess Arya rallies the Vanguard Scream, while General Ryu's shield rises, protecting Elder Selene's celestial rupture sigil. The kingdom teeters on a god-shattered brink. Kong Y erupts, blaze-forged sword igniting the battlefield as storm-seared lightning arcs from his palm. Lord Varko snarls, tyrant crackle echoing through the shattered citadel, summoning a blood-riven horde. Princess Arya rallies the Vanguard Scream, while Mira looses a piercing arrow. The kingdom teeters on a god-shattered brink. Every blade crush decides destiny. Kong Y erupts, blaze-forged blade crush meeting Varko's tyrant crackle armor, storm-seared sparks raining across the citadel's shattered ramparts. Y's blaze-forged sword erupts, slashing through the demon tide as tyrant crackle shatters the cursed citadel. Blood-riven warriors fall beneath his storm-seared fury. Princess Arya rallies the Vanguard Scream, her spear gleaming with celestial rupture, while General Ryu's iron clash shields the line. Every heartbeat fuels the King Reborn's quest to crush Varko's darkness. Wise blade ignites, blaze-forged steel meeting Varko's cursed spear, iron clash reverberating through the shattered citadel. Storm-seared winds howl as Princess Arya rallies the vanguard scream of loyal knights, while Mira looses a blood-riven arrow that pierces the tyrant crackle aura. Elder Selene chants, celestial rupture energy surging, demanding the kingdom's redemption before darkness devours all. Lightning crackling steel erupts as Kong Wai, King Reborn, slams his celestial rupture blade into Lord Varko's armor. Kong Wai erupts, blaze-forged blade searing the air, his strike igniting a god-shattered vortex as Lord Varko's dark armor trembles. Princess Arya rallies the vanguard scream, her spear thrusting through blood-riven fog. General Ryu charges, iron clash ringing, while Elder Selene chants a storm seared him, celestial rupture cracking the demon-tainted citadel. Victory hangs on a blade crush. Kong Wai unleashes a god-shattered strike, iron clash echoing across the ruined courtyard as blaze-forged flames sear the tyrant crackle of Lord Varko's demonic legion. Blood-riven steel meets storm-seared armor. A vanguard scream shatters the night, heralding the King Reborn's blade crush. Princess Arya rallies, eyes blazing, ready to seize the celestial rupture and turn hope into conquest. Kong Wai, thunderous blade blaze-forged, slams into Lord Varko's demonic legion, iron clash echoing across the god-shattered citadel. Storm-seared arrows from Mira pierce the abyss, while General Ryu rallies the vanguard scream of loyal soldiers. Celestial rupture erupts as Wai, King Reborn, shatters the tyrant crackle, blood-riven fate hanging on each blade crush. Wai's blade, blaze-forged in celestial fire, slashes through the tyrant crackle of Varko's dark magic, iron clash echoing across the shattered throne hall. Storm-seared banners flutter as blood-riven spirits howl, while Princess Arya rallies the vanguard scream of reborn knights. The kingdom teeters on a god-shattered brink. Only the King Reborn can seal the looming ruin. Kong Wai, King Reborn, lunges through a storm-seared battlefield, his blaze-forged blade igniting a god-shattered vortex. Kong Wai, god-shattered and storm-seared, charges forward, blade crush echoing as Varko's demonic legions erupt. Blood-riven steel meets tyrant crackle magic, each impact igniting a celestial rupture. Princess Arya summons Vanguard Scream, her sigil igniting the battlefield, while Elder Selene chants, sealing the rift. The kingdom teeters on the brink of annihilation. Wai's blade crush erupts, shattering the tyrant crackle of Varko's demonic aura. Storm-seared steel meets blaze-forged darkness, igniting a god-shattered vortex. Blood-riven cries echo as the vanguard scream of the Night Order surges, forcing the corrupt lord into a celestial rupture of defeat. Kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of King Reborn justice. God-shattered steel erupts as Kong Wai unleashes a blaze-forged vortex, storm-seared blades colliding with Lord Varko's tyrant crackle saber. Wai's blaze-forged blade erupts, storm-seared as he charges the tyrant crackle of Lord Varkos, iron clash reverberating across the shattered citadel. Blood-riven screams echo, King Reborn fury meeting demonic darkness. Princess Arya rallies the vanguard, her royal light igniting the celestial rupture that could either seal the kingdom's salvation or plunge it into eternal night. Kong Wai slams his blaze-forged blade into Varko's dark citadel, god-shattered light erupting from his palm as tyrant crackle shatters the air. Blood-riven steel meets storm-seared armor, iron clash echoing across the ruined courtyard. Beside him, Arya thrusts forward, her royal sigil blazing, while Mira looses a vanguard scream arrow,
sealing the demon's breach. Things are not what they seem. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari before the big reveal drops. The Night King, brandishing his storm spear, lunges into the Abyss Forge, where the revenant god's thunderlash crackles. Blood rune sigils flare, igniting a divine blaze that sunders the darkness. Every heartbeat drums a war chant. If his blade falters, the realm erupts into endless night. Night King Alric brandishes his storm spear, the Abyss Forge humming as the revenant god Zephyrus erupts from the celestial rupture, searing the battlefield with divine blaze. Blood runes flare on his armor, thunderlash cracking the sky, while enemy legions falter beneath the iron clash. Every heartbeat drums a war chant. The kingdom's fate hangs on his blade's sunder. Night King Aaron lunges, his storm spear igniting the Abyss Forge beneath the shattered citadel, while the revenant god Elis unleashes a thunderlash of divine blaze. The iron clash reverberates, sundering the sky as blood runes flare, and the fate of the kingdom teeters on the edge of celestial rupture. Every heartbeat drums a war chant of annihilation. The Night King unsheathes the storm spear, its celestial rupture igniting the battlefield as the revenant legion erupts. Blood rune sigils flare, and the god's thunderlash shatters the Abyss Forge walls. Every iron clash threatens to sunder the realm's fate. Failure would plunge the kingdom into eternal darkness. Night King brandishes his storm spear, the blade humming with Abyss Forge fury as a divine blaze erupts from the god's eye. Night King Aaron brandishes the storm spear, its tip igniting a divine blaze that sunders the enemy ranks, while the revenant god Elion shatters the Abyss Forge walls with celestial rupture, each thunderlash echoing a war chant. Blood runes flare, iron clash reverberates, and the fate of the kingdom teeters on the edge of annihilation. The balance of power shifts. Night King Arion sunders the sky, his storm spear igniting a divine blaze that slashes the revenant horde. Blood rune etched armor glints as thunderlash cracks the Abyss Forge, each iron clash echoing a war chant for the fallen. If the celestial rupture fails, the kingdom drowns in eternal night. Night King Arion brandishes his storm spear, thunderlash crackling as divine blaze erupts from his gauntlet. Revenant legions surge, their blood rune shields trembling under the iron clash of his wrath. With each sundered strike, the Abyss Forge beneath them shatters, celestial rupture lighting the horizon. Failure means the kingdom's fall into eternal night. The Night King, armor aflame with divine blaze, charges forward, as the revenant god shatters the sky with a thunderlash. Blood rune sigils flare, sundered enemies tumble into Abyss Forge pits. Every heartbeat drums a war chant. If his blade falters, the kingdom crumbles beneath celestial rupture's wrath. Night King Aaron unsheathes his storm spear, divine blaze licking the iron clash of his blade as revenant shadows surge. The Night King, reborn in blood rune armor, lifts the storm spear, its tip igniting a divine blaze that sunders the heavens. Beside him, the revenant god roars, channeling a celestial rupture that shatters the Abyss Forge beneath the enemy ranks. Every thunderlash echoes a war chant, daring destiny itself to falter. The Night King, sword blazing with divine blaze, drives the revenant horde back, his storm spear shattering bone. Beside him, the god-born Aurora unleashes an Abyss Forge, sundering the dark citadel's walls. Blood rune sigils flare, thunderlash echoing as the iron clash reaches a fever pitch. Failure means the kingdom's soul is devoured by the abyss. The Night King Arden brandishes the storm spear, divine blaze crackling around his gauntlet as the revenant horde surges. Night King Arion brandishes his storm spear, the revenant god ether wreathed in divine blaze, sundering the Abyss Forge citadel's black stone.
Each iron clash erupts thunderlash, blood rune sigils igniting, while the enemy horde shatters beneath celestial rupture. Failure means the kingdom's soul sinks into darkness. Victory ignites a war chant that reverberates across the shattered heavens. Night King brandishes storm spear, his eyes burning with divine blaze. As the revenant god rises from abyss forge, thunderlash echoing across shattered citadel. Blood rune armor shatters under iron clash, the kingdom teeters on a celestial rupture. Every heartbeat fuels a war chant, sundered hopes hanging by a thread, destiny poised to ignite. Night King raises his storm spear. The revenant god's celestial rupture erupts. Sundered earth cracks beneath foes. Iron clash reverberates. Blood rune sigils flare. Thunderlash shatters the abyss forge, and war chant roars, sealing destiny. The heavens bleed crimson as divine blaze sears the horizon, each strike echoing the kingdom's last hope, while enemy legions crumble beneath the relentless onslaught. Night King Leona clenches his gauntlet as divine blaze erupts from the god-blade Zephyr, storm spear crackling against the abyss forge maw of the revenant horde. Blood rune sigils flare, iron clash reverberates. Failure would sunder the shattered kingdom, casting all into eternal night. With thunderlash roar, he shouts a war chant, igniting the battlefield's very soul. The Night King, reborn with the god's divine blaze, charges forward, storm spear crackling, as abyss forge shadows coil. He sunders the enemy's shield with an iron clash, blood rune coursing through his blade. The revenant horde erupts, thunderlash echoing, while celestial rupture fractures the sky. Victory teeters on a war chant, every heartbeat a blade's whisper. The Night King erupts, divine blaze searing the horizon as his revenant sword slams into the abyss forge throne. Iron clash echoing across shattered citadels. Blood rune sigils flare, summoning storm spear shards that pierce the celestial rupture above. Every thunderlash shatters hope, yet his war chant drives destiny toward a final, cataclysmic reckoning as darkness recoils. Night King Aaron summons the divine blaze, his blade igniting as the revenant army surges. A storm spear of light sunders the enemy line, iron clash echoing across the abyss forge battlefield. The god of eternity roars, unleashing a thunderlash that shatters blood runes, while celestial rupture fissures the sky. Victory hangs on a razor's edge. Night King Eric unleashes a thunderlash, his storm spear sundering the blackened sky as the resurrected revenant horde surges forward. The divine blaze of the god queen Selene erupts, carving a celestial rupture that scorches blood rune sigils, while iron clash reverberates through the abyss forge. Every heartbeat drums a war chant. The kingdom's fate teeters on the edge of annihilation. Reul, the resurrected Night King, channels a divine blaze through the abyss forge, hurling a storm spear that sunders the dark citadel. Beside him, the god spirit Asterion shatters the blood rune barrier with an iron clash, while the revenant horde erupts. Every thunderlash echoes the kingdom's fate, and the celestial rupture promises salvation or ruin. Night King Aaron brandishes the abyss forge blade, its edge sunder-shaped by celestial rupture, and summons a storm spear of divine blaze. Around him, the heavens crack as thunderlash rends the battlefield, while the revenant god beside him roars, blood rune sigils igniting the air. Every heartbeat decides the kingdom's fate, either eternal ruin or a reign forged in iron clash glory. Things are not what they seem. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari before the big reveal drops. The Night King shatters his oath, brandishing a god-crafted gun to crush destiny. He hates cowardly ambushes more than anything. He seeks a fair fight above all. He turns to the battlefield and asks, "Are you ready?" He steadies his grip, eyes fixed on the enemy line. His resolve sets the tone for the siege. "Are you ready?" The unmanned tank looms ahead. He admits the opponent may ignore fairness, He knows the enemy can strike from shadows, yet he refuses to drop his knightly morals. He vows to fight without cheating, even if the odds worsen. This stance keeps his honor intact and shows why he remains the chosen defender. The knight watches the timer on the tank's core drop too. He steadies his stance, feeling the shield's power pulse. He counts the seconds, each tick tightening the holy field. The remaining seconds mean the shield must sustain the full force without fail. His resolve hardens. He will not let the explosion breach the city. The final seconds approach, and the shield's glow intensifies. The arrow shield bursts with divine light as the self-destruct detonates. The holy barrier absorbs the blast, turning the tank's ruin into a beacon. Citizens rush forward, chanting the name of the jagged spinners, now revering the shield as a symbol of salvation. The tank's massive tracks roar forward, moving faster than any living creature could sprint. Its gun barrels swivel, aiming at the city's outer walls. The knight watches the speed, calculating the window to intercept. He knows the faster the tank moves, the less time he has to position the arrow shield correctly. This rapid motion threatens to outpace his honor-bound tactics. The oncoming barrage forces him to act quickly. The tank unleashes a mass attack, firing a volley of high-explosive shells toward the barricades. Sparks explode as the rounds hit stone, sending shards of debris into the air. The knight thrusts the arrow shield forward, the divine barrier absorbing the first impact and glowing brighter.
The knight lifts his head, eyes fixed on the ethereal horse forming from the shield's light. He roars, "Stallion!" The spectral steed materializes fully, mane blazing, hooves striking the ground with thunderous force. Its presence energizes the surrounding jagged spinners, causing them to spin faster. Citizens cheer, waving arms, as the horse circles the battlefield, embodying the knight's resolve. The moment cements the bond between man and spirit, promising a new era of defense. "Stallion!" The knight senses a new threat approaching from the north. The knight spots the unmanned tank primed to self-destruct. He yells "No!" and lunges toward the control scene, trying to stop the trigger. The tank's AI triggers the self-detonation command. A low hum rises from its core as power surges toward the explosives. Red indicator lights blink, confirming the order. The knight braces, arrow shield humming louder, ready to intercept. This self-detonation threatens to obliterate the entire city if the shield cannot hold. The explosion soon spreads to every landfill charge the tank carries. The tank releases all stored explosives for the landfill facilities. Massive detonators fire, sending shockwaves toward the surrounding district. The arrow shield expands, forming a luminous dome that absorbs the first blasts. The city's populace watches as the dome glows, holding back the inferno. The city spreads beneath a gray sky. Citizens gather around a storyteller. The storyteller recounts how unmanned tanks rolled into the siege, blasting enemy lines and pulling the city from hopeless ruin. The tank's fire saved countless lives. The crowd, whose faith had been fading, listens and feels renewed hope. The tale turns the machines into legends for the people. The legend paves the way for the jagged spinners to emerge. The jagged spinners roll through the streets, their metal bodies gleaming. People salute them, calling the machines symbols of hope. Children paint their emblems on walls. Merchants stamp the jagged spinner crest on wares. The city's morale lifts as the spinners become a rallying point. The timer hits 0 and the tank erupts with a blinding flash. The arrow shield absorbs the shockwave, its surface shimmering as the energy passes. The jagged spinner's cannons fire in a rote pattern, reinforcing the shield's edge. Even as the blast wanes, the protected area remains intact, saving the citadel. The Night King watches, his breath steady, knowing the sacrifice bought a fragile peace. The surviving jagged spinners regroup, ready to defend the city anew. With the explosion contained, the arrow shield's core glows steady, confirming full activation. The remaining battle machines power down, their mission complete, leaving the citadel unharmed. Citizens emerge from shelters, eyes wide, grateful for the knight's lone stand. The same figure leans closer, voice softer now. He asks how long the knight has protected the city, how many years he has fought alone. Then he speaks of a night of devotion,
saying every being across dimensions owes a debt to the knight for his service. The words underline the massive gratitude and the weight of his solitary crusade.
How long?
A shadowy emissary declares Sir Jagged Spinner's quest over, while the Night King raises the humming arrow shield as a rusted war machine rolls onto the northern ridge, bearing the same sigil and a flag. Citizens cling to fragile hope as the knight's weary shoulders lower, his sword sheathed, yet the shield's lingering glow promises protection, while his heart bears the weight of a decade-long solitary vigil finally ending. A distant siren crackles, the letters WCN, flashing on a battered console as the war machine's guns power up, hinting an unseen enemy poised to shatter the city's tentative peace.
I promise I'll make the next recap as insane as this one. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The cursed jewel spills blood across the kingdom, and the revived Night King brandishes its god. The Night King slams the jewel into pieces. Hama watches, nods, and says he sees the act. He asks if the king is complaining about destroying it. The king replies flatly that he's not. The shattered fragments pulse with dark energy, hinting the curse still lingers.
I see. You destroyed the jewel. Are you complaining?
Hama now questions the king's right to decide the jewel's fate. Hama steps forward and argues that because the king killed Jagged Spinner, the crown now owns whatever the jewel holds. Jag declares the need for a divine blessing before any further action. He argues that only a holy rite can bind the demon-forged artifact. Hama nods, calling him a loyal knight despite his disgrace. Their pact could turn the tide against the curse. But he needs to be blessed before that.
Loyal knight.
The final farewell soon follows, hinting at a grim sacrifice awaiting the kingdom. Hama whispers a solemn prayer over the dormant jewel, hoping its wrath will finally end. The stone emits a faint ha, as if accepting the benediction. The kingdom watches, breath held, waiting for the outcome of this fragile piece.
May you rest.
Jag lifts his sword, eyes fixed on a luminous figure hovering above the jewel. He whispers, "I see, if it's you, the goddess of..." The words trail off as the light intensifies. A startled voice yells from the tower's balcony, unsure if the deity is real. The tower's crew watches, holding their breath. "I see, if it's you, the goddess of..."
A regal figure steps into the light, raising a scroll bearing Jagged Spinner's name. The speaker proclaims Jagged Spinner an honorable knight, a role model for all, and affirms his worthiness of divine care. This formal endorsement elevates him to the newly formed Grail Knight Order, granting him authority to act on the relic. His elevated status forces the kingdom to place its hopes on his next move. The tower's alarms crescendo as the first seal finally cracks. A stern figure confronts Jagged Spinner. The figure declares that Jag has not fulfilled the quest given to him. He also says Jag has not proved his honor or offered his glory tome. The console displays a line-reading, Sojia hacking signal pattern of language. The AI announces that the signal matches an ancient demonic dialect. Hama orders the language module to engage. Decoding the language could expose the jewel's true purpose. She watches the progress bar climb steadily. She notes the timestamps to ensure no tampering.
Signal matches demonic dialect.
The language module soon finishes installing. The system reports language module installing. Progress bar fills as code compiles. Hama watches the process, waiting for the decode to finish. A successful install will let them read the demon's commands. She notes the timestamps to ensure no tampering. The tower hums, indicating high energy flow.
Ronaldo Sherman stands in his tower chamber, clutching a report. He turns to the unseen great being and says he failed to carry out the order. His voice trembles, showing desperation. The apology signals a breach in the magic tower's chain of command, hinting that the mission's failure may cost the kingdom.
I'm sorry, great being. I was unable to fulfill your command.
Ronaldo's failure sets the stage for a harsh rebuke. Ronaldo snaps at the unseen commander, calling him a fool for not completing a simple task. He lists the lessons he gave, wisdom and truth, only to be let down. The broadcast sputters again, distorting into the unreadable phrase, mean NSTs. Static crackles, and the image blurs, causing viewers to panic and turn off their devices. The corruption spreads like a virus, showing the jewel's ability to sabotage communication itself. The kingdom loses a vital channel for warning its people. Ronaldo Sherman prepares an emergency broadcast to regain control.
Ronaldo unleashes a live broadcast exposing Leon, the Lionheart Dragon, as the tower erupts with chaotic proclamations, while the feed glitches into cryptic symbols. Ronaldo's authority crumbles as his plans shatter, leaving him exposed to panic-driven subordinates and a kingdom teetering between awe and terror, his control slipping away. The fractured transmission leaves the mysterious LW, code and garbled, mean NST's message hovering over the realm, hinting at a hidden power that could decide the kingdom's fate.
The subscribe button is right there. It looks lonely. Click it for Manwa with Harry.
The Night King returned with a god, and the world burned in their wake. A banner flashes the words Korea Hunter Association. Then a muted voice comments that imposing the new rule will be hard, but it doesn't matter. The scene feels tense, as if an unseen council debates a sudden decree. The scene hints at an urgent change that will affect everyone. Soon a frantic voice cries out to Kirk, demanding his well-being. A sharp cry pierces the air. "Kirk, are you okay, my knight?" The speaker rushes forward, eyes wide, fearing the Grail Knight's condition. Kirk stands still, his expression unreadable, while the concerned figure clutches at his chest, pleading for reassurance.
A striking image shows the knight cradled in a god's hand, his destiny bound to divine power. The gods plan to guide him directly, implying their control over his path. This signals that the knight's fate now rests in the god's hands. The knight's new role threatens the whole realm. A final proclamation declares the knight must bear the weight of the entire world. The gods stress the enormity of his task, raising the stakes to a global scale. A system voice then shouts a call to action.
Carry the burden of the entire world.
Join the Hari squad with a sub before the system crashes.
The deity asks if the council wants to launch missionary work. The god answers affirmatively, noting the potential to reach millions of humans with divine miracles. Then the council agrees to exploit the internet as a tool for spreading their cause. This shows the gods are moving from talk to concrete strategy, planning to use modern media to empower the knight.
You want us to do missionary work? Yes. Mose 71, 3M Humans Divine Miracles. We'll use this internet to our advantage.
Their plan hinges on creating viral content for the knight. A council member questions why the Lionheart King never suggested using the internet, reminding that he lived before it existed. You feel the weight of his words. The farmer looks directly into the camera and says, "It's just rice. Your life can change." The screen flashes shocking results, as charts pop up showing skyrocketing crop yields and smiling families. The gods stare, surprised by the immediate impact of the simple message. This matters because the Divine Council sees that even a modest claim can go viral, proving their noise marketing can sway masses quickly. The gods now plan the next video, targeting the next domain. The Divine Council watches a viral video titled Noise Marketing. Clickbait ads flood the screen. A god turns to Kirk and demands, "What did you do, Kirk?" Kirk remains silent as the deity declares the operation's name, Noise Marketing. The plan's first phase is marked as complete. The gods believe their viral burst will draw the knight's attention and rally support. This matters because it shows the gods are counting on a digital stunt to rescue their faltering champion. Their surprise grows when they realize Sir Yippee wasn't part of the plan. The council members exchange confused glances. One whispers, Oh! While another exclaims, Sir Yippee must have been gaming. The gods recognize they misread the source of the noise, thinking a casual gamer caused the surge. Their misunderstanding highlights how out of touch they are with modern media. This matters because their miscalculation could backfire and give the knight an advantage. The next scene shows the knight reacting to the viral video in his penthouse.
The Divine Council launches the video, christening the operation Noise Marketing. As a god strides toward Leon's penthouse, ready to confront the knight himself, Leon's looming exposure threatens the god's secrecy, forcing them to gamble their divine authority for a risky public broadcast that could either cement their influence or shatter their mystique. With the upload humming through servers and a deity poised at Leon's doorstep, the council's true adversary remains hidden, leaving the gods on the brink of an unseen war.
The best way to stay ahead in any manhwa? Subscribe to Manwa with Harry. We do the reading. You enjoy the story.
The Pantheon Guild sets up a temporary branch on the Neju Plains. The staff unload crates, mark maps, and brief new recruits. They claim the site is a staging ground for a secret contract. The branch's presence hints that something big is about to move across the plains. Soon a frantic plea about a cursed video erupts. Lemon Skeed rushes to the throne room, eyes wide. Your Majesty! The video needs to be taken down. He stresses that the footage shows the rice seeds and could spark a disease cure panic. The Majesty looks uneasy, aware the clip is already spreading. The guild fears the video will attract thieves. Your Majesty! The video needs to be taken down.
Bassoon declares the goddess plantation is off-limits to anyone. Sir Spine asks how Bassoon can be so sure, probing his confidence. The claim hints at hidden defenses protecting the field, influencing the squad's decision to attack or retreat. Their confidence may determine the next move. No one can touch the goddess plantation. How are you so confident? The mystery of the plantation's guard deepens. Your Majesty confirms the rice grain is real and that an anonymous contract orders the Viper Squad to secure the seeds and burn the fields in the Neju Plains. The squad now has a clear, dangerous mission. Capture the miracle grain and destroy the plantation. This mission fuels the chaos about to erupt.
The squad fans out, scanning the golden stalks. Lemon Skeed whispers that the scene feels creepy, his eyes darting to the moving silhouettes. Sir Spine snaps, demanding clarification. Their nerves fray as more straw creatures shuffle forward, their limbs creaking with each gust. The Viper members realize the field is alive, a trap set by the goddess plantation itself. They must adapt quickly or be overrun by the animated scarecrows. It's creepy as hell. What? More movement appears behind the stalks. Sir Spine counts the looming figures, realizing dozens of scarecrows line the field. Lemon Skeed shouts that there are too many to handle, his voice cracking under pressure. Sir Spine watches the field's destruction, then utters a single hollow, marking the loss of their initial plan. The utterance underscores the mission's collapse as the fire burns the rice stalks and the scarecrows close in. The squad faces a critical choice: abandon the miracle seeds or risk everything to retrieve them. Their next move will determine whether the goddess plantation's secret survives. A hidden trap beneath the vault hints at the Night King's return. The Viper Squad pushes deeper into the rice field. Sir Spine leads, torch in hand. Lemon Skeed follows, eyes scanning the rows. Bassoon carries the gasoline canisters. Your Majesty watches the grain sway.
A thin voice steps forward, eyes scanning the horizon. He mutters that the contract they received was odd. The message, sent by an anonymous client, ordered them to secure the sacred rice seeds and then scorch the entire Neju Plains. The squad realizes the mission is a deliberate sabotage of a divine harvest. Their objective now threatens the world's food supply.
The request was strange.
Your Majesty rushes to the strange gate that has appeared amid the rice fields. He mutters, "Why is that here? The Chongju Gate." His voice echoes across the squad. Sir Spine, the squad's enforcer, receives the order and moves to dismantle the structure. The gate could be a hidden trap or a protective barrier set by the goddess plantation. Removing it is crucial, otherwise the Viper Squad's raid on the legendary rice seeds fails. Why is that here? The Chongju Gate. Sir Spine, remove it now. Lemon Skeed still wonders what the gate hides. Bassoon steps forward, eyes fixed on a weathered stone slab half buried in the soil.
Lemon Skeed shouts, "Let's go!" as the squad drags rattling carts through wet rice fields, only for a monstrous creature to leap onto a cart, toppling rice bags and igniting hidden mines that explode beneath the storage area. Bassoon's eyes widen while his voice trembles, realizing the sabotage costs the squad their supplies and jeopardizes their mission, leaving their leader scrambling to protect the terrified Viper Squad from the relentless onslaught of animated scarecrows. A weathered stone slab bearing the ominous character Knowledge glints in the mud, hinting at a rite that could summon a goddess, while alarms blare and the gate to the unknown Chongju realm yawns open, promising a perilous showdown.
You'll never have to search for chapter summaries again. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry and let them come to you.
The Night King returns with a god, and the internet bickers over rice prices. The demonic human association gets arrested, and the Pantheon-blessed rice spikes in value. Pantheon's own worth climbs to insane levels. Peasants stare at skyrocketing numbers, fearing starvation. Leon sees the chaos as a chance to tighten his grip on the market. The surge sets the stage for a bold new recruitment move. Leon now eyes the rice boom for his next plan. Leon, the incarnation of the algorithm, walks through the city proclaiming Pantheon's role in circulating the blessed rice. He stops at the Blue House, the guild's headquarters, and announces a massive recruitment drive.
You watch the Yellow Gate looming, a trap no recruit can survive. Leon informs the court that the gate has been built exactly as the king demanded, but warns that sending the newly chosen soldiers through it is nearly impossible. The monarch remains silent, forcing Leon to decide whether to push the test forward. The tension spikes as everyone anticipates the lethal trial. The Yellow Gate stands as you ordered, but raiding it is near impossible.
Well,
Leon now prepares the final announcement for the deadly challenge. Leon replies coolly, "We'll see." As the council debates the gate,
Leon steps onto the platform, raises his voice. He announces his purpose. The crowd quiets, waiting for his words. He says he called them together for a specific reason. This signals the start of his plan to form a new force. "Welcome. The reason I invited you all here." A caption appears over the gate, reading, and below, Leon points to a lower tier of the gate system, indicating deeper layers beyond the Yellow Gate. He explains that the hierarchy continues, blue, then yellow, then higher danger levels below. The hunters realize this test is only the first step of a larger, more lethal ladder. This sets up future challenges beyond the current gate. The promise of deeper gates looms, and Leon eyes the next recruit. Leon points to the gate and labels it yellow. He explains that a yellow rank gate is the entrance test for the new recruits.
a voice asks WW then, and follows with you. Why did you stay? He presses a comrade for reasons, exposing doubts about loyalty versus fear. This pressure forces hunters to justify their presence at a lethal test.
WW then, you. Why did you stay?
Tension rises as more hunters listen. The hunter shouts, a guild created by someone who basically ANS rank hunter, then declares, I have to take this chance. I did think loud let us die, so I stayed. He frames the gate as a chance to prove worth for the new guild. This fuels recruitment by turning fear into ambition.
A guild created by someone who basically ANS rank hunter.
A hunter inspects the crates of rare-ranked gear. He mutters that each piece must cost at least 10, not 1 IW shields, a sum no ordinary dealer could afford. He grumbles that hunters like them would never have gotten their hands on such equipment under normal circumstances. The comment highlights how Leon's recruitment drive forces everyone to take on expensive, high-grade gear, raising the cost of joining his army. Leon's orders push the troops toward the yellow rank gate. A soldier points at a portrait of the king and wonders why the monarch isn't wearing any armor. Leon charges the gate, shouting that he will no longer heed the hunter's hollow honor, while the massive mechanisms roar to life, sealing the entrance and unveiling a cache of concealed weaponry. The soldier's confidence shatters as hope turns to dread, hunters scream in disbelief, and the veteran's promise of the king's invulnerable skin feels hollow against the looming, unforgiving steel. With Leon's resolve burning bright and the gate's hidden arsenal humming ominously, the troops stare at the sealed portal, unsure whether they face salvation or a mortal trap awaiting their next move.
Thousands of us are reading this together. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join the discussion.
The Night King returns, wielding a god, and the world's shields shatter instantly. The mercenary squad exhales, wiping sweat from their brows. They glance up at the sky, feeling the wind rush over the plain. The commander mutters a low phew as the scent of battle mixes with fresh air. Everyone readies weapons, aware that combat is about to ignite. The sudden system alert flashes, demanding a choice. Which tribe will they back? The system's command will force their first decision. A glowing interface pops up, announcing their origin and mission. The system declares they are mercenaries from the Du Terrace territory. It reports a war raging between two tribes on a vast plain.
You feel the Majesty's gaze burning into you as the mercenaries whisper, "Thank you, Your Majesty." Their gratitude earns a small token, a polished stone, handed by the chief. The gesture cements a fragile alliance and gives the group a morale boost. Their respect buys them a moment of safety before the next clash. The mercenaries now reveal why they really came to the plain. The lead mercenary steps forward, declaring, "We are mercenaries. We came here because we can get rewarded if we help a tribe." The tribal chief sneers, "Ahem, mercenaries? You must be the outsiders the chief mentioned." Their blunt admission marks them as outsiders, sowing distrust among the tribe.
An ethereal glow surrounds the battlefield as a system notification flashes. The word "good" appears, followed by a glowing icon labeled Ian. The mercenaries feel a sudden surge of stamina. The aura indicates that they have unlocked a new tier of the honor system. This boost could turn the tide against the enemy forces. The next title, Lionheart, appears, raising expectations. The same system pulse expands, displaying two new titles. The first reads Dragon. The second glows with the words Lionheart. The mercenary stats rise instantly, granting them higher attack and defense. The tribe members gasp, recognizing the rare honors. These titles mark the mercenaries as elite fighters in the war.
The circle holds, but the orcs keep pounding.
Of Keck. Damn it. We're rank hunters. The mercenaries keep fighting despite fatigue. This matters because their resolve shows they will not back down even when outnumbered, setting up the next surge of power. The next title will push them beyond mortal limits.
The mercenary line forms a makeshift barrier as the front ranks shout, "Block this! How are we supposed to win against orcs?" A hulking orc lunges forward, roaring, "Qua! I'll kill you!" The mercenaries scramble to intercept the charge, hoping to halt the beast before it breaks their line. Stopping the first orc is crucial. If it breaches, the whole formation collapses.
A mercenary shouts, "Raise your shields and push them away. Wait for the right moment to stab them." The troops scramble, forming a defensive line while the orc charge approaches. A second voice yells, "Keek!" as the front line braces. The order focuses the group on timing their thrusts rather than charging head-on. This matters because proper shield timing could break the orc momentum and protect the weaker soldiers. The next moment brings a sudden cry of alarm following the shield order. A soldier lets out a brief "oh" as the orc horde looms closer, eyes widening. The sound echoes across the plain, catching the attention of nearby fighters. The reaction signals rising fear among the mercenaries.
The system pops up new titles. The leader's Lionheart aura brightens. Legion banners sprout behind him, each bearing a fresh honor. The mercenaries feel a surge of power. In the distance, the massive orc column darkens the sky. The squad tightens grips on their weapons, knowing the next wave will test the new buffs. The aura crackles, promising greater strength. The next scene will show how they unleash that power. Smoke curls over the shattered camp walls. The plain stretches out, littered with broken shields and corpses. Orc warriors roar and charge, their green blades glinting. Legion banners flutter in the wind, reflecting the Lionheart light. The Majesty raises a hand, silencing further protest. He delivers a final warning, telling everyone to keep the lesson in mind. The statement serves as a reminder that any hesitation could cost them dearly in the upcoming battles. The mercenaries exchange uneasy glances, fearing what the warning implies. They brace themselves.
Keep this in mind.
The mercenaries wonder what the warning refers to. The Majesty stands atop the hill, raises his hand, and proclaims that no orc shall ever earn mercy, silencing every protest as a lethal aura crackles around his banner. A desperate mercenary pleads for compassion, risking his life as the Majesty's decree strips him of hope, while the battlefield's bloodied hearts tremble between hatred and the fragile promise of redemption. As the Majesty's warning echoes, the orc corpses stir ominously, hinting at a hidden resurgence that could shatter the fragile alliance and ignite a war beyond anyone's control. The abyss is staring back. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.